Okay, I think we are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the stream. We already have someone in the chat. S. Hagens, how are you? Please do the Booker impression again. Well, I'm sure that will be coming up at some point in the stream. So, apologise if my stomach starts rumbling. I've not really eaten much. I thought it would be a good idea to do a live stream, being as though Discovery is pretty much on its way at this point. Oh, God. It is the 5th and final season. How it's gotten 5 seasons to this point, I just don't know. I can't figure it out. So maybe we might have some answers to that question on this stream. So I've got a couple of things in mind. Obviously, we're going to have a nice conversation. As I said in the description of the stream, let's keep it light-hearted. As I know I'm going to get some grief anyway, because there are a lot of people that really like Discovery, and I don't understand why. Maybe they could explain why they like it, but I certainly don't, and a lot of my subscribers don't like it either. So let's we got to do a few setup thingy bobs for the stream, because let's see if we can monetize the stream at all. Bear with me while I just work some YouTube magic. Every time I do a stream, there's always something I forget to do. Always something. There we go. So, Star Trek Discovery. We've had 4 seasons so far. The first season was by far the best season, and I can say that with some confidence. And it's not that season 1 is particularly good. It's that season 1 is just the best of the worst, because Discovery progressively got worse. And looking back in a very heavily sort of retrospective way, I suppose, it really is it really is a show that started weak, got weaker, and by comparison later on people realized just how strong the show was in the beginning. Just YX84. Can't stop crying these tears of happiness. Well, I thought I'd do something a little bit more interesting for the thumbnail. So I dug my green screen out of mothballs and decided to do a little bit of green screening. So, I was crying tears of happiness underneath that thumbnail at some point. Whisper mode on. I get paranoid. Is that some sort of reference to the stream's volume? Is the volume okay? Am I speaking too loud or too quietly? Can you hear me, or am I just bleeding your ears in a volume sense, rather than talking smack about Discovery? So yeah, a little bit later on in the stream, I decided it might be fun to run the last review that I did of Star Trek Discovery, so it'll be somewhere up here. I've got it all set up, ready to go. I don't think YouTube will punish me for using my own video, so hopefully that won't get the stream shut down. But yeah, I thought it might be fun just to go back to the last point of reference that we had of Discovery and see what I thought about it, because I'll be honest with you, I don't really remember the Discovery videos all that well. The only thing I do remember is Unnamed Species 10C. So yeah, It's, yeah. It's a reference to Mikey Spock always whispering her lines. Oh, I do beg your pardon, my paranoia got the best of me. Yes, Mikey Spock does whisper a lot of her lines for dramatic tension. Just to make sure that you know just how she's feeling. Yeah, Mikey Spock. There's something very special about that character, isn't there? There's something really unique about her. And I would say it's that she is definitely unlike any other character in Star Trek. Just another watch nerd. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully it's a good high energy stream. I've got a little bit of energy these days, which is nice because I'm going to need it for Discovery. The lighting's a bit shit in here, isn't it? Just bear with me. Slightly better. You can see I have the red mood light on. Laughing my backside off. Discovery for the win. It's going to be interesting, isn't it? I'm wondering what they're going to do with season 5. Having seen the trailer, I got my answer very abruptly. And if you hear any squeaking, it's my chair. I've got to get some WD-40 for that. Yes, the season 5 trailer. I just had to make a video on it. And the channel's sort of gone down a little bit in the old algorithm nonsense that YouTube does. And I was expecting it to do a lot better than it did, but whenever I expect a video to do a lot better than, or really well, the video doesn't do well. And whenever I think, oh, that's a crap video I've just made, it suddenly shoots up. Maybe because I've said something wrong or, you know, got a fact wrong or something like that, but there's always a reason. And Discovery, with the season 5 trailer, wow, I didn't see anything different. What was different about the season 5 trailer to anything else that we've already seen? Okay, so this season they're going on almost like a treasure hunt. So it's a hunt. So I think that there's going to be a piece of a previous starship that has been destroyed or maybe crashed, and then the shape of the debris is going to point to a thingamaboo or a MacGuffin to uncover the next clue. And who do you think the bad guy is going to be? Who do you think the bad guy is going to be in Discovery? Will the bad guy be sort of maturity? Because maturity seems to be the enemy of Discovery. You know, our kids have got to grow up eventually. And Discovery, well, jeez, you imagine a proper mature Mikey Spock, a mature Michael Burnham. Seems almost like a myth, doesn't it? So yeah, I'll be playing one of my videos and we'll go through it and try and remind ourselves of the last lot of Discovery nonsense that was presented to us. Now, midway through my reviews, I say midway, almost to the end of my reviews on Star Trek Discovery, I redesigned the studio back then, the previous house, to make it look a little bit more, I'd say professional, but it's not really professional. And it pretty much, I think it looked a lot better than in the earlier reviews when I had, green screen all over the place. So yeah, we'll be watching that. We'll be watching that together. We'll do a watch together of my video. Attention, YouTube, my video. So don't strike me, will you? Pavel. Oh my God, I'm going to butcher this name. Pavel Shersky. Shersky. Let me know if I got that right. With huge tentacles. Yeah, tentacles. Tentacles. Yeah, the unnamed species 10C. That was an interesting choice, wasn't it? Unnamed species 10C. The name itself strikes fear into the heart of the Klingon Empire, as you know, because they're unnamed. And if they're unnamed, they're a bit of a enigma. And if they're an enigma, can they have honour? And an honourless society? What would the Klingons make of that? Unnamed species 10C. Oh, God. Could they have... seriously, I mean, could they have perhaps come up with something a little bit more original than unnamed species 10C? Who knows? Oh, maybe unnamed species 10C is original. I don't know. We have all the characters returning. We have Tilly. We have Jet Reno. The universe's most sarcastic Starfleet officer. We have Reno. Actually, Reno gets a lot of like. Really, they quite like Reno. You know, people who like Discovery. Me, I could do without her. To be honest with you, she's a bit snarky. But hey ho. Let me just. I believe my pop out chat has expired. Grr. Let me pop it out again. Boom! There we go. I'm not the world's most professional live streamer, so yeah, I do apologise for that. But yeah, wow, Discovery season 5. Who else we got? We have unnamed crewmen. They've made a return, as far as I saw in the trailer. There's a fair few of the unnamed crewmen, and I call them unnamed because they do have names, but they're not memorable enough to retain those names in the minds of the people that are watching. You have generic blonde girl. You have officer of Asian descent. I can't remember his name. You have the African American guy. I don't remember his name. Who else is in the background and just completely useless? Oh, so many. You have Adira. That's the one. Adira. Remembered someone's name. We have Adira. No, she's not the Trill. She's not a Trill. She's a human with bad teeth in the future. I've got bad teeth, but I'm not in the future. We have... Is it Grey? Grey? The Trill. Figment. Zell! Greetings! You made it. Good to have you here, mate. Good to have you here. Yeah, Discovery... Season 5 is obviously the topic of this stream, and I'm just trying to reacquaint myself with some of the deadheads that were in the previous season. We've got Booker. Someone's asked for a Booker impression. I've got to remind myself what that sounds like, because as far as I know, it's a little bit dull and very, very English. So yeah, we've got Book. We've got Saru, possibly the best character in Discovery. Possibly. He certainly wasn't the worst. We have a Culber, Dr. Culber. God, these characters are so lame. Oh, it definitely doesn't rank above amongst my favourites. Started Discovery, stage 5 cancer coming soon. Stage 5 cancer, yeah. Sounds about right, doesn't it? I feel like the title of Discovery season 5 should be the final insult, like the Naked Gun. The final insult, I like that. Who else is there? We're forgetting people. Engineer guy. Stamets. Yeah. Also, a ridiculous character. We have the Admiral person. I can't remember his name. The guy who was in the Mummy. He's coming back as well, I think. And the Vulcan ambassador. I think this is Vulcan Ambassador. I am oddly framed because I'm just sat in the perfect position for the video to run, so I apologise if I'm just over here too much. Don't forget Headpiece Girl. Headpiece Girl. Oh no, Headpiece Girl. Who's Headpiece Girl? Headpiece. Oh, you're talking about Detmer. Is it Detmer? Detmer, isn't it? Yeah, it's Detmer. Yeah, Detmer. She flies the ship. She is the 29th century Ortegas. Because if anyone can get her, if anyone can get Discovery out of a situation, it's going to be Detmer. Why don't we talk about Pavel Shersky? Why don't we talk more about our emotions? Can we scream for a minute to get closer to one another? Well, I tell you what. I'll pretend to scream. You guys all scream in the chat, and then we can have a big screaming session. Okay? Yep. As Higgins, she flies the ship. Absolutely, she flies the ship. So, I'll do a pretend scream now. Could have kept that going longer, but hey ho. Owo, and that's another one. Owo. Owo. Oh my god. Tonight is the butchery of names. Owo. They call it Owo, don't they? And she's amongst some of the crew, most of the crew, all of the crew who have some sort of tragic backstory or some sort of relevant story that she has to say or has to tell at a pivotal moment to prove that she's the best, second only to Mikey Spock. And I think Mikey Spock's always the best, and then the crew kind of shuffle underneath and around her, and the guys who make it to number two, guys who make it to the top, have to keep swapping because no one can stay too close to Michael Burnham at any one point. So yeah, Owo. Anyone else? No, I'm drawing a blank. If I'm missing anyone, let me know. Sorry, Pavel, but it seems like I'm the only one who screamed. For I didn't get to a minute because I'm old, but I think I'm the only one that screams there. No, I cannot think of anyone else. Did Tarka survive or did he die? Because Tarka was a stupid character. It's like a fucking stupid character. Pardon my French. It's a bit early in the stream to swear, but the computer, of course. Oh yes, the computer. Doesn't the computer have emotions now? Isn't the computer like a sentient being? She sang Burnham a song. Scream like you're watching the show. No, I don't remember which film it's from, but there's an image. It's Keanu Reeves buried up to his neck, so it's just his head, and he's got a gag in his mouth and a mobile phone there. And someone says, "When you're forced to watch Star Trek Discovery," oh, that was hilarious. Aaron Pollier, hey, love your rant reviews, Danger Man. Thanks for making them. Oh, mate, thanks very much. It's a pleasure. I'm glad you enjoyed them. There are not that many people that do, but it's really nice when someone says they like the stuff that I do. I think the Discovery ones are going to go back to sort of more classic Danger Man reviews because I just think my cynicism button will be broken beyond repair and permanently pushed in. But thank you very much for that comment. That's made my evening. Thank you. Zell, wouldn't it be interesting if Star Trek Discovery ends with Burnham waking up in a prison cell and jumpsuit from season 1, and that the show had been nothing more than a schizophrenic dream? Yes. I don't think it'd be interesting. I think it would be nigh on impossible, because that would mean that the show has to be, the show's creators have to be somewhat self-aware of what they are to the Star Trek fandom. But it would be a great pleasure to see that happen. But I don't think they are, like I say, self-aware enough to do that, which is a shame. The Spider Lord. How are you? How STD got 5 seasons is up there with the Pyramids and Bermuda Triangle as one of the greatest mysteries. Yeah, I think Discovery wins on that one. Season 5 of Discovery. It almost sounds wrong to say, doesn't it? Season 5 of Discovery. Season 4 was wrong to say. Season 3 was wrong to say. Season 2, well, it was wrong to say by the end, wasn't it? Because I completely tuned out of Star Trek Discovery at the season 2, halfway through the season 2 stage. And it wasn't until about 6 months later I went back and had to binge watch it, because, believe it or not, I started this channel around that time. But yeah, I mean, I opened the stream by saying that season 1 wasn't half as bad as we think it was, just based purely on what came after. I'm gonna gulp my tea because that is almost disgustingly cold. Try not to choke as well. Excuse me. S. Higgins. They saved money by shooting the show in the same studio as another show at the same time. That's why they can't use normal volumes while speaking. Do you reckon the other show was some kind of fantasy show, like Mortal Engines or something? It was the library set was right next to Discovery. I mean, to be fair, it's kind of a bit of a contrast, really, isn't it, when you consider the dialogue of Discovery to the heavily explosive effects that they use all the time. You know, imagine them filming next door some quiet, intimate library scene or something like that, and just hearing next door, because. And then they turn and say, oh, fucking hell, they're shooting the flamethrowers again, you know. And and there's a window to the lot at the back where they don't film. And you just see all these extras flying, you know, just sort of running by on fire because they've got fire from the flamethrowers from hell. Just nuts. Absolutely nuts. I mean, I did the Discovery video, Discovery Sucks, where I talked about the flamethrowers shooting out the walls and how ridiculous it was and how it was such a stupid design feature. And I feel like it's really not emphasised enough just how ridiculous the show's design is. I mean, we can get to the characters and the story in a little while, but, well, I say more the story. Because the characters, I've tried to remember all of their names. It's been, how long has it been? 2 years? It's got to have been at least 2 years between shows, between seasons. Mike Kess, how you doing, mate? Hopefully a powerful adversary forces Burnham to sing Alla Moraine, counts of 4. Alla Moraine, then 3 more. Alla Moraine, if you can see. Alla Moraine, you'll come with me for a whole episode. I would say at this point, don't give them ideas, but hopefully they've finished filming. Pavel Ashersky, please tell me if I'm butchering that name. With all the new I'm going to say that's Star Trek. I'm grateful the seasons. I'm grateful the seasons 4 from 20 plus to 10 episodes at most. Yes, yeah, basically saying I'm glad they reduced the amount of episodes per season. Yeah, I think a lot of people are. Filmed in the same studio as a porno, probably. Yeah, and there's just explosions all over the place, isn't there? The Spider Lord, they have names? Yeah, they do. I couldn't remember the names of the tertiary characters in the background that they keep swapping and giving screen time every now and then. It was right when they went to Earth. Was it season 3? And they sat underneath that tree, a bunch of them, and I'm like, can't remember you, can't remember you, can't remember you. You're Tilly, can't remember you. And I just think, who are these people? Why don't you give them? Why don't you do the classic Star Trek approach with storytelling and focus different episodes on different characters instead of making it a serialized show? Just do that. Just make it. Focus on these characters, and I'll tell you why. Because those actors and those characters are nowhere near strong enough to maintain momentum through an entire episode. It'd be too big a weight to carry, and you couldn't focus everything on Michael Sodding Burnham. Whatever the show was, you can bet that it was better. Put money on it. Maybe it was Strange New Worlds, which technically would make you still correct because Strange New Worlds is better than Discovery. And again, I'm not saying that Strange New Worlds is amazing, but it is arguably better than Discovery. It doesn't change much, but hey ho. Their names are probably Token 1 and Token 2, probably. Have a big T on their tops. Star Trek. I see. Sorry, it was meant to be Star Trek. I shall just read the comments verbatim from now on because it leaves you with mental scars. And yes, you're butchering my name only a bit. CZ is pronounced as in Czech. So it's Pavel Chersky. Yeah, the C and the Z always confuse me. I know the W is a V sound. I believe the ear. You know what? It's been so long. Value is nothing. How you doing? You retracted a message. I nearly read it. CZ is pronounced as in Czech. So yeah. So it's Pavel Chersky. I don't know. Yes. Where was I? Lost my train of thought. Star Trek has taken a turn for the worse in the last. Good God! How long has it been now? 8 years? 7 years? 7 years. Because it was 2000. Was it 2017? Star Trek Discovery graced our screens. Ortega's "I Fly the Ship" was Discovery level bad. That's very true. Yeah, she was the new Detmer, and she was very bad. Oh God, it was so terrible. Oh, she's such a terrible character. And that haircut. I mean, each into their own. Cut your hair however you want. I'm due a cut. I think I'm getting one on Saturday. But cut your hair however you want. Have it however you want. But that haircut is really not good. It's really not good. And when you have, I mean, you could say with the original series, the hairstyles of the original series were directly related to that time, the 60s, and that's fine. Style matches style, I suppose. But you're talking the original Star Trek show. A lot of new Trek fans will turn around and say, "Well, that show wasn't any good," or "That show portrayed women this way," or "That show men were wearing dodgy, were wearing costumes that were revealing and all of that stuff, and this is what passed as an alien and that." But the Star Trek fans, I feel that we give the original series a pass on that sort of stuff, and certainly early Next Generation, and we give it a pass simply because it was of a different time. Okay, it was of a different era completely. It was pretty much one of the births of Star Trek, of science fiction, beg your pardon. It was at the very beginning of science fiction making it into the mainstream and becoming almost like pop culture, and it was around that era. So there wasn't a lot to compare it to, and now times have moved on, and you saw Star Trek later on, in the Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Enterprise. You had all of that all of those shows, they matured. Star Trek matured, and suddenly they were having all of these. They had their own styles, their own way they did the people's outward appearance, and then Star Trek, the modern Trek, just brings it all back and makes it relevant to today's styles, and I just think that's wrong. I know there's people who can put it better. Zell, a super chat for £4.99 beer money, mate. That's always appreciated, and it's never necessary, but it's always appreciated. Thank you so much, my friend. That really means the world to me. Thank you very much. And yeah, a cogent and well-structured comment if I ever heard one. Beer money. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. It's not the hair and costumes that will date New Trek. It's the millennial attitudes of the crews. Yes, and it was something I was going to get to, their attitudes. Zal, you're freaking amazing. Thank you. The attitudes of the crew, yes, they match today's attitudes, and they're just anti-derivative Jill. Hello, well, hello, welcome to the stream. Glad you're here. Yeah. The crew are just like millennials, and like the Spider Lord has said, the crew are just like millennials of this time. And you notice in Picard season 1, everyone's calling each other dude, and your replicator menu thugs and all of that shite. People of the future don't talk this way. People of the future have evolved to correctly use vocabulary from the dictionary and everything. Value of nothing, Tilly using the F word, Burnham's let's fly. Oh, God, you had to say it, didn't you? Let's fly. We'll get to that at some point. But yeah, it feels so out of place in Star Trek. Now, I've been watching a few of... I've been rewatching DS9 like There's No Tomorrow. And I love... one thing I love in Star Trek is tech talk, you know, the techno-babble. Because it made sense. It made sense, and the way that people talk in Deep Space Nine, Next Generation, Voyager, it's all very... It's honestly like a thesaurus has exploded over everybody, but it's all proper use of language. There's very little slang. But when slang is used, it's referenced, and it feels right. New Trek... It feels so alien because it's not written and structured like I feel like Star Trek should be. It's honestly like you're watching some kind of teen drama. It's horrendous. As Hagen's, it will probably go down in history as the Pandaverse Trek. Yeah. I am actually quite surprised, you know, hearing the word Pandaverse. That South Park haven't actually covered fully just how much Star Trek has become so bad. I'm just glad the end is finally near. Anti-derivative Jill, I agree. I'm very much looking forward to the end. But do you feel, and this is open to the chat, do you feel that maybe when it's gone, we'll kind of miss it in the way that, say, the Joker would miss Batman if the Joker had finally killed Batman, because he now had no one to toy with? I kind of feel that would be similar, or you know, a situation akin to Discovery. Value of nothing. I like science. Oh, yeah, at Value of nothing from Spider Lord. I like science. Oh God, it's like the most basic line ever, isn't it, to describe? It's like someone who I likened it in my video to an AI that writes this shit, where you give the information. It's a science fiction show, and you know the AI responds, I like science. It's so basic, it's so unoriginal. Anti-derivative Jill. It was the start of a painful chapter of history against everything that Star Trek stands for. Yeah, because it was so antithetical to what Star Trek actually is. And then I found it more insulting when they came for the fans and said, you don't know what Star Trek is. Star Trek has always been this. It's always been that. It's like, you're talking to people who have spent their entire lives watching this show and living in this universe in here. And you're telling us that we don't know what Star Trek is, or you didn't get the memo. It's always been woke. Star Trek has not always been woke. It depends how you define woke. It's always been progressive, but it's never been woke. And I define that W term as the pushing of certain ideas and the ramming down your throats of certain ideas. Yes, there were reactions when you had a Dax's kiss with one of the previous hosts' wives. Yes, there was an element of modern politics there, but it was a very different time, and we were all pretty much accepting of it. Of course we were, because we were open-minded. You cannot be bloody closed-minded when you're watching Star Trek. It goes against the very nature of Star Trek. You can't be closed-minded. We were all accepting of it. And why? Because they were standing there going, you know what, if you don't like it, you're a bigot. If you don't like it, you're this phobic, that phobic. Star Trek is an idea. And it's an open idea. People from all over the world watch Star Trek with an open mind. And you know what's less insulting is when they turn around and say, look, here's a moral and ethical conundrum. We're presenting it. And there are 2 sides to it. There are 12 sides to it. Pick your side. Have your way with it. Think about what it is, what it means to you personally. And now modern Star Trek turns around and says, ha 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 ha, you don't believe what we believe? You must be phobic. Why? Why is it always like that now? You know? So when people say, oh, Star Trek's always been woke, it hasn't. It's always had progressive ideas that it has put out there. And the Orville knows the difference. Seth MacFarlane understands the difference. And this is why, God, I'd love him to take on the franchise. Because he understands the difference between being modern audiences and being progressive. Pushing boundaries. Star Trek has always pushed the boundaries. And it's always done it respectfully. New Trek hates you. It just hates everything. I got a comment on my last video, which I had to delete because it was inappropriate, very inappropriate. Basically, I was called a hate monger, and they never understand. These people never understand because I was saying that Star Trek Discovery is ending, and I laughed, and I didn't, But they never understand that we, as fans, are not coming from a place of hatred. We're coming from a place of love. And we don't love to hate. Okay? And we don't hate to love. We just love Star Trek and what it's become. What it was. We hate what it's become. We're not hateful people. We don't hate because it's a strong word. We dislike New Trek because it's so different to what we're used to and so insulting to the legacy of Star Trek. It's such an imposter. I can't even with it. Sorry, that's probably one of about 20 rants. I do apologise. I'll get back to the comments. And I'll if you want me to, I'll read some of the comments in some of my more popular impressions, if I can remember any of them. Series 1 was when I had 3 TV channels to choose from in the UK. Series 1. Series, was that what, original series? Or was it Next Generation? Oh, I can't, you know what? clarify that one because I'm going to make an ass of myself. Star Trek used to make you think, now it tells you what to think. But precisely, the Spider Lord, yeah, I'm not the most succinct of people, but yeah, I completely agree with that statement. Star Trek used to make you think, now it tells you what to think. Ridiculous. And it's such a childish show, and it treats you like a child as well. And this is one of Hollywood's biggest mistakes, is they talk to people and treat people like they are infants. It doesn't respect the audience, and it's across Hollywood. You're seeing it every day. People are saying the fans must be bigots, the fans must be homophobes, the fans must be the problem. We're not the problem. What we're creating is not the problem. You ever blame the customer for not liking something you've produced, you are going to fail. You used to make vehicles. If the customer didn't like the vehicles, we'd never go, oh, well, you clearly don't know what you're talking about then, do you? Because, we build nice vehicles. I say, well, I've seen better. Well, the customer's always right. We're the customer. We're always right. People, you make shit, people ain't going to see it. And those that do, and those that shill, percentage-wise, they're minuscule. We're the majority. Star Trek Discovery is not well liked. Doesn't matter how people choose to spin it. Doesn't matter what Facebook does and other social media platforms do with the groups, and how the admins can edit all the comments to make it look more popular. It's not popular with Star Trek fans. It's never been popular with Star Trek fans. It's, yes, you do have Star Trek fans that like Discovery. And I'm not bashing those people at all. I'm not bashing them. But I am saying, are you sure that it's not simply the fact that it's just Star Trek? And they're feeding you Star Trek? And they're feeding you a microwavable meal instead of a gourmet high-end feast. They're giving you a microwavable meal that says Star Trek on it. And you think it's Star Trek, and you know something's off. You know it doesn't taste good, or as good as Star Trek. But in some ways, you've just been programmed to think, you know what, actually, it's not too bad. It's got a few E numbers in it, and a few sweeteners, and a few artificial flavours. And the palate has run so fucking dry that it doesn't know what it's got. I don't know whether that's a coherent point, but hey. What a fantastic name. Yelling at gaseous anomalies. I like that. Thought you'd be crying over the end of this show. I thought you'd be crying over the end of this show. No. No. Yeah, the thumbnail was deceptive. It was sarcastic. I'm not crying. M. Brando, don't be discouraged. Disco may be ending, but we still have section 31. And the Teacher Tilly series to look forward to. Oh. Wow. Section 31. Yeah, again. Let's pick one element. One small element. Bring it to the foreground. Change it into what we believe it should be. And what we believe it is. And just throw it out there. Why not? We're crying with laughter. Yeah. I'll get to that in a moment. Anti-derivative Jill. Woke programming requires discrimination and segregation. You're right, Star Trek has always been progressive. The two are very, very different. Yeah, they are different. And this is what people don't understand. People take your argument and create a straw man argument and twist your words and then call you a phobe. But we are very much aware that Star Trek paved the way for a lot of social change. It really did. It pushed boundaries, and we were always thankful. We were always... Do you remember that we were always so fucking proud of it? We were always so fucking proud of Star Trek for doing that. It was one of the selling points of the show. Star Trek had pushed the boundaries and pushed science fiction storytelling into a new century, into a new era. We were always so proud of it. And they've tainted it, and they've changed it, and they've twisted it. So now we appear like we're the bigots? We're the problem? Fuck you, New Trek. Just do one. Jesus Christ almighty. You talk about hatred. You want to call me a hateful person? Look at yourselves. Look at what you've put out. Copyright strike after copyright strike my channel's got for showing a few seconds of good, decent Star Trek and gushing over it. But because they own the property and it's counter to what they are putting out, and because I'm using older Star Trek content to draw comparison to their new shit, because of that, I get struck. Which is why you don't see me playing clips. I don't risk it. I mean, Clayton, a good friend of the channel, said, I've got a way that you can avoid all the copyrights by flipping the image and manipulating it and everything. And I thought, that's great, but it's just not worth it. Because if I put a video out and it gets struck, I have to take it down, strip it back, get all the footage out, and then re-upload it. It's too much of a pain, so I just do stills. I am ranting. I'm sorry. Ah, fuck it. I'm here for a rant. Original series showed a future that you'd love to live in. I think all Star Trek pre-2005 showed you a future you'd love to live in. Wouldn't you love to live in that time? There's no disease, no poverty, no war. It's peaceful. Not exactly sure what the financial structure, the societal structure, or the economic structure is of the future, but it looks pretty damn fucking good, doesn't it? You know? Oh, I've got, you know, tumours in my brain, and I'm dying. And oh, there's a hypo spray for that. Oh, I'm thirsty, but I can't afford any money. Public Replicator, get yourself a drink. It's free. Or, you know, you have credits, but everybody has the right to use. Everybody has basic human rights, and the world of Star Trek is great for that, is it not? The Discovery's New Trek is just so bleak, and it paints an awful picture of the Federation, potentially the best, greatest organisation that has ever been conceived. Fictional as it may be, it's the best possible utopian solution to all of humanity's problems, and Star Trek New Trek just wants to redefine it and turn it into something it never was, and make it drab, dismal, xenophobic, suspicious, basically turning it into the on-screen equivalent of, or the in-universe equivalent of Romulan society. Just devious, and then they do it with thinking they're so intelligent, but they're not. Series 1, Star Trek TOS, sorry. No, Series 1. Yeah, 3 channels in the UK. Wow, I remember there being as few as 4. Then we got Channel 5, and that was mostly cheap Desert Storm films and a lot of pay-per-view porn. Yeah, that got me through a few tough times. I still love Star Trek. This new crap just isn't Star Trek. Yes, yeah, I agree. That's the point I've always tried to make is it's not Star Trek. I think Star Trek's still long gone. Strange New Worlds, when they had to sacrifice the kid in that box that makes him a living mummy, almost made me think that show could almost hit it if they just pretend no disco. Hit the like button. Oh, thank you, Marlon. Whoa, we have a super chat from Yelling at Gaseous Anomalies, and I maintain that's a super name. So super chat from a super name. Thank you so much for that. That again, not necessary, but it is always welcome and always appreciated. Thank you so much. I look forward to your rants on disco as we suffer through together in the months ahead. Here's something to get a nice whiskey. Oh, thank you, my friend. Thank you so very much. That's $10. Beautiful, lovely, thank you. Yes, we will do it together. Okay, I'll watch it, I'll put the videos out, and I will be conversing with you guys and talking through the comments. I've been thinking about doing it and hoping that it doesn't affect too much of the video's flow, but I was thinking about doing a weekly live stream afterwards. But I've done live streams in the past after I've uploaded videos, and it seems to kill the video. Or they kill the video's progress. I don't know. I'll have to figure something out. But it'd be nice to do a live stream afterwards. In some sense, in some way. But thank you so much for that. That's very much appreciated. And I'm so unfamiliar with super chats. There's a balloon and a 1 in the corner. Is that like a... Oh, you know what? You're gonna have to help me out with that one. But that's very much appreciated. Thank you so much. Thank you. One console. Oh, we're crying with laughter. Yeah, I've read that one. But yeah, we are definitely. You're definitely right, Zal. We are crying with laughter. One consolation. Hold on. Okay. Sorry, I'm just sorting the chat out. Go away, silly thing. You a silly thing. Go away. There we go. One consolation: Starfleet Academy will probably be even worse. I don't even know what they're thinking with that show. There's nobody's asking for it, are we? I mean, it was a cool idea when around the time of the Next Generation episode, The First Duty. That would have. It's the First Duty, wasn't it, with the Crusher and Locarno and whatnot? That would have been a great show to start, perhaps, because at least we would have the Academy in the context of the Next Generation and in that universe. But this just makes no fucking sense whatsoever. Why would you do this? Why would you do an Academy show that no one asked for, starring characters that you're probably not going to know other than Tilly, and which majority of people do not like the character of Tilly? It's just stupid. But hey, you're right. I will be able to at least review it. It reminds me of some of the pocketbook series where they just slap anything together with a Trek name. By the way, it's Matt Ross. This is my podcast name. Oh, hello, Matt Ross. How you doing? I knew there was someone hiding behind that name. That is a great name. Yelling at gaseous anomalies. I think for Discovery, though, you should update it just once, saying crying at gaseous anomalies. Maybe they're just a bit wet. I don't know. Wotaj, how are you? Good to have you here. One of Star Trek Discovery's worst offences is claiming all sorts of firsts that were done years ago. Yeah, exactly. Wow. Yeah, they couldn't claim that Burnham was the first black lead of a show because obviously it had Sisko. They tried to claim that she was the first black female captain. That's wrong because I reference for you the Voyage Home. I reference for you the episode with Geordie's mother. She's a captain. And there's undoubtedly many more examples. But yeah, the first my arse. It's kind of like Jennifer Lawrence saying she was the first female action hero, which is just heard on Drinker's stream, and I absolutely cried. It was so funny hearing that, because I think Jennifer Lawrence is somewhat attractive. I just do. But my God, that was such a stupid comment, and I'm not exactly sure what she was thinking when she said it. Cancel all the new series and put the budget into remastering Deep Space Nine. You'll make more money. The Spider Lord, bang on. Remaster Deep Space Nine. I'd love to see that. The Spider Lord, you're not wrong. Yeah. The problem is, you need to talk in questions, and you will like the show because you like old shows. You are like so totally a bad person. Yeah, you're not wrong. I got called a racist bigot on the Star Trek Facebook group, for pointing out that Idris Elba isn't African American. It's insane. That is crazy. And again, again, Facebook is just... Facebook's an advertising hell, okay? It's majority advertising now. You might as well just go on to have a look at adverts. But these Facebook groups are so heavily controlled now that every time you go into a group, it says top comments. And that's all the comments they've deemed acceptable. Then you click all comments and you get a very different picture. So Facebook is becoming much like a bubble. It is becoming an echo chamber. Facebook groups are terrible. Even decent Facebook groups are just turning sour. There's one Facebook group that I've been a part of that, as far as I'm aware, they don't edit anything, and that's New Trek Sucks group. I'm part of it. But yeah, that's a great group of people. It's got some really nice people in it, and again, just Star Trek fans that want Star Trek back. Another super chat. Oh, bless you. Just another watch nerd. Unnecessary, but very welcome. Thank you so much. Beer Stroke Convention pocket money. Oh, bless you. The convention. Yes. What's it called? Star Trek. I can't remember what it's called. Damn. Yes. That's coming up, isn't it? It's April. I have to... I might still be able to make it. I don't know. Everything's so bloody expensive. But yeah. I don't know. I don't know. You have to leave that one with me. If not this year, almost certainly next year. I've already spoke to Mrs. Dangerman, and she has basically said... yeah, maybe a bit short notice this year. I'm still gonna try though. But yeah, thank you so much for that. It's so appreciated. It's superb. Wow. What one problem of the TOS era? Those damn hippies are singing "Yay, brother." That's so negative. That's negative. Yeah, look. At the end of the day, yeah, we accept it was a different time. We accept that, but. You know, and we are forgiving. We are, as fans, we're actually quite forgiving a group of people. The attempted assassination and defamation of the purity of TOS makes me very angry. But yes, the space hippies sucked. Yeah. Yeah, it did. It did. Yeah, they did. The defamation of the purity of TOS. I think that's what Strange New Worlds has done. Discovery not so much, because Discovery jumped into the future and just decided it was going to damage the other end of the timeline, while Strange New Worlds focused on the beginning. Smartlogic, you're correct. He's part Ghanaian and Sierra Leonean. Leonean. Wow, there you go. Yeah, again, it's just people. I find these groups, and I commented on one of the Facebook groups saying, look, because they got something wrong, and they're always doing it, especially these pro Star Trek groups. They're run by people who don't know Star Trek, just like the people who run Star Trek currently, and they keep getting posts wrong. So names, names, places, factoids, everything. They just keep getting it wrong. So I pointed this out on one, and someone responded, "I really don't know what the hell you're on about, because everything here is perfect." And it's like, that's just not true. That's not true. Star Trek on so many levels has been hijacked. It's crazy. Don't forget an end of series online party. Hell yeah! Hell yeah! I think that'd be fantastic. Yeah, it's a great idea. Oh, it's his first super chat. That's what the one means. Well, thank you again, Matt Ross. Thank you. I don't think it's your first super chat though, Matt Ross. Maybe under this name it might be. But yeah, thank you so much. I would expect he would refer to himself as Black British. He was born in Hackney, London. He was wasted in that movie. You know what I think Idris Elba is? A British male. and I might get a shot at Dawn for saying that. He's a British male. It doesn't matter if he's black. It doesn't matter if he's white. It doesn't matter if he's yellow. The Simpsons character. It doesn't matter. He's a black male. He's British. At the end of the day, yes, he is black, but he's British. He's a British male. So, what does it matter? Seriously. Zell, $9.99. Oh, mate. New Trek will never be Star Trek. It's a corrupted initiation. We were really spoiled back in the day with amazing characters and stories. New Trek fans just don't get it. And Strawman as big as. Yes, they do. They do. All the time. Thank you so much for that super chat. That's wonderful of you. Thank you so much. Yeah, they do. They constantly strawman us and say that we are, Jesus Christ, I think in some ways these viewers as deplorables in some ways. But yeah, sorry, I had a vibration on my phone. Of course, they don't ask you. They know that you know that you won't like it. Yep, it's like so totally Starfleet Academy. Did you hear like Derek is dating an Andorian? Like, oh my god. Yeah, that's what it's going to be like. That's what it's going to be like, and you just know it. Yes, you got it. First duty is where Wesley lies and someone dies. Oh, what a great synopsis of the episode. It's very poetic as well. Idris Elbow. Idris Elbow is great. I'm hoping that's an autocorrect because that's hilarious. Idris Elbow. Idris Elbow. That's fantastic. And Brando for score 1. But I still don't know how he was a lizard man. Captain of the Saratoga. Yes. Yeah, from Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home. There's also a black female captain in Conspiracy on Star Trek The Next Generation. One with Remek's head exploding. Rest in peace, Remek. You were not so bad until you were possessed. Very true. Yeah, Madge Sinclair played Geordie's mother and the captain of the Saratoga in... Yeah, did she play both? Oh, I feel like I should know that. Don't forget the Black Admiral in Star Trek 4. That is... He's played by Brock Peters, who also played... Yeah, because it was Cartwright, Admiral Cartwright, wasn't he? And he also played Joseph Sisko, Ben Sisko's dad. Yeah, he was superb actor. Superb. That was the same actor. Yeah, I'm not sure. It could be, you know. I feel like I should research that, but I don't want to disrupt anything in the stream. Charles Napier was the singing hippie. He returned to Star Trek in the DS9 episode Little Green Men as the cigar chomping general. Yeah. Precious jewels? Like what? Gold? Gold is good. Yeah, I like that one. Idris Elba was wasted in Beyond. I completely agree. Zell, you're a legend. Legendary man. Thank you very much. Yelling at Gasha's anomaly is great. We will all descend on your house for that end of series party. Yeah, it's a small house. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I can fit all my subscribers in. Possibly 2. There's not a lot of room in this house. But hey ho. The best Trek, Destination Trek UK convention is in July. Oh, no worries if you can't come until it was Destination Trek. Yeah, you're completely right. For some reason, I thought the Star Trek Experience, and then I thought Las Vegas, and I thought, well, I'm English. This is the UK. I can't go to Las Vegas. It's not that. Stuff is so expensive these days. Yeah, and don't you find that the prices are going up and up and up? I mean, I'd love to meet some Star Trek actors that are, well, getting older. We've already lost DeForest Kelly, Leonard Nimoy, Nichelle Nicole, James Doohan, and amongst so many more. I'd love to meet Will Shatner, but it'll cost me. It probably cost me a couple of grand just for the privilege. For the record, I'm not a bigot. I hate everyone equally, says Zell. Yeah, I en masse, society-wise or mob-wise is better. I have a severe dislike of crowds, of mob crowds, but generally speaking, yeah, equality. There is several sides to equality. Cisco is a favourite captain, not because he was black, but because he punched Q. Well, Q never came back, did he? M5 tie-in. Hail UK Danger Man. Hail M5. Welcome to the stream. Yes, and Q never bothered Cisco again. Yeah, Q moved onto the Delta Quadrant instead. Yeah, he went 70,000 light, 50,000, 60,000 light years, and bugged Janeway. Really, something else that decision to not have Q in DS9 again, simply because Cisco just thought, I'm not buying any of your bull. Gaseous anomalies. UK Dangerman Con London at the Mandarin Oriental in Hyde Park, and a special shopping trip to Harrods. That was me opening the can of Coke, by the way. So I need the sugar, clearly. Oh wow! I'm not going to sleep tonight. Yes, we went to a Showmasters in Milton Keynes a fair few years ago now, and I did meet some Star Trek actors and a few others. But yeah, what about the fake French English, Zell? I'm going to, at this point in the stream, does anybody, and spam the chat with yes or whatever, does anybody want me to bring up, as I said I would, bring up my first review, not my first review, my last review of Discovery for us to watch together on this stream? Does anybody want to see that? Because it would be... I thought it might be interesting just to get refreshed on where we were the last time Discovery cursed our front doorsteps, but also to just have a laugh. I suppose we're having a great time. So let me know in the comments if you want to see that, and I shall pull it up. M5, yes, do it. Just another watch nerd, brilliant. I'll need to get my headphones on, as you know, I don't want the sound coming through everywhere. But yeah, so we get a fire everything. So we get a little bit of a catch up on Discovery and figure out just what the hell it's all about. So let's this might start playing automatically. I might need to select where it is. Previously on UK Danger Man. Yeah, just bear with me. Hi guys, and welcome to the video. Did everybody hear that okay? Last time on Destination, what was that? And now, the conclusion. Yeah. Can you all see it? Did you all hear it before I get into it? And is it too loud? Is it too quiet? Let me know. And I will be starting this, by the way. Lock that in place. Does it look okay? Everything good? Just put a Y or an N and I'll sort it out. My God, I need a haircut. I need to get back looking that good looking. All good. Okay. And now screaming. Oh, this will be an experience for me as well, because I have to watch myself, and I don't like watching myself. So, yeah, the things I do for an audience, eh? 3, 2, 1. Let's go. We are here. We are at the end of Star Trek Discovery. Oh, I look so relieved. Season 4. And this is the finale. This is the final episode. This is it. This is the final episode of this
I have a smile.
Season-long arc.
So the review hasn't started. There's a lot to go through, but I'm just going to quickly break down the finale and the things that happen, and then I'll point to some things that I noticed, some things that I liked, which is really going to be a small list, and some of the things that I disliked, which is probably going to be a big list. But stick with me. Everything's okay. All right, everything works out in the end. Spoiler alert. So what happens in this episode? Okay, well, the episode opens and we have Federation headquarters warping to Earth. We have the return of Tilly.
I'm sorry, everybody.
To Discovery. What can I say about that? It's Tilly. Tilly's back. Yay. She's briefing her cadets and she's telling them where to go and what to do. So they arrive.
So young, so full of hope.
Admiral Vance. His name's Admiral Vance. I'm getting kind of good with these names.
Yeah, and that didn't last. Because I couldn't remember his name. When STD started, I had hair. Yeah. I'm surprised I still have hair.
They're basically there to intercept the DMA and try and save Earth in some fashion.
Colin Dempsey, hello, welcome to the stream. Thank you for the comment. This is more entertaining than the actual episode. Oh, bless you. Thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoy them. I'm glad there are people out there that do enjoy what I put out. I watched this. I experienced Discovery through you. Gave up mid-season. I get so many people telling me that they watch my reviews so they don't have to watch Discovery. That's why I try to be as accurate as I can when I'm breaking the episode down. But hey, no, hello, I'm vibrating again. Let's go
Cut to Discovery, and they're still chasing Book and Tarka. Tarka's going, look, this is gonna work. I'm gonna be awesome. I'm gonna be fantastic. And Book's like, mate, you don't know what you're doing. Obviously, things are gonna go badly. I don't think this is gonna work. You've got to let us out of this. Reno is pretty much going, yeah, basically, need to let us out. I don't know whether it fell through the force field or it was already in the force field.
UK Dangerman Inception going on here.
Collar, and his cat doesn't like hollows, apparently holograms. So it isn't.
Yeah, and there we go again. Another butchering of the kind of language that you use on the show, the tech talk. I say tech talk, I've just done it myself. The technology, techno babble, okay? So they call technology tech, and they call holograms hollows. I don't like that. It's hologram. Hologram. Call it a hologram because it's a fucking hologram.
Anti-hologram collar.
See, I said hologram.
Uses to punch through the force field at some point. Burnham on Discovery is basically saying, I need to lock the delegates up, okay, because someone clearly betrayed us. The general person of Earth, she just says, yeah, it was me. Don't bother locking anybody up, it was me. I know that I did bad thing, I was just trying to protect Earth. She gets confined to quarters, but she says, you know where I am if you need me. Haha. Discovery receive a message from 10C. They don't
10C.
know what the hell to do. So 10C are basically confused at this point, and they don't know what the hell's going on. The Vulcan lady mind melds with them through the ship, the glass on the ship's hull.
Yeah, she mind melds through the ship of the hull. That was funny. Yeah, it's all rushing back to me. This is actually traumatic for me because it's bringing back a lot of memories of watching that episode.
I'm not sure how that worked. At this point, I am so drained from Discovery that I just accept what I'll accept what they're showing, and that's absolutely fine. So she has a neural brain fart, and
just at one point, at that point, I just said, you know what? I'm so drained from Discovery. I'll just accept anything that they show me as just, yeah, all right, that's what they're doing. It's not me accepting and liking what they're doing. It's just a case of, sure, why not? At that point, I had just given up. I expect to be at that point for episode 10. 4C Tina, how are you? Oh, how I've missed UK Dangerman. Oh, bless you. I've missed you guys too. I know I've not been around much, but I've Oh, so much has happened. It's unbelievable. But yeah, it's great to be back, and it's kind of nice just sitting there watching a younger, more naive version of me going through a really crappy time having just watched it. And I always wanted to sort of note that just the nature of my reviews, the way I do my reviews is I'll watch the episode as soon as I get home from work, because that's usually when I get the chance to watch it. I'll watch the episode and then I'll just literally fart out my opinion of what I just saw. So it's very sort of immediately after the episode, and then I just cut out the coughs and the and all of this stuff, and just put it into a review video. I've got a feeling I already know the answer, but would you guys like to see more of that, or would you like to see more scripted videos? Because the scripted videos would obviously take longer. That's all I'm going to say on that one.
She basically says the censor are confused. They don't know why this ship is doing this. Saru's by her bedside and says, look, you've got to open yourself up to relationships and blah, 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 blah. So book on Bacca's ship. So back on Booker's ship.
Sometimes I do leave mistakes in there just because it made me laugh at the time. Hopefully it makes you laugh too. You put more effort into your reaction than they did making the show. Oh, bless you.
And Tark is saying, look, we can do this. You're going to see people again. Come to another universe. All your family will be there. And Reno's like, no, they won't be your family. And Book's like, yeah, I know. They won't even be my family. You're wrong. So that fails.
No.
So Book manages to open up a little tiny cat flap in the force field.
Oh, God, yeah.
Cat Grudge. Hey, I learned his name. The cat's name is Grudge. Yeah, he creates.
Oh, I'm
cat
so
flap,
happy.
and he manages to get out the force field. Now, Discovery at this point. Oh, please don't go there. Please don't go there. Discovery, obviously outside the galaxy at this point, thousands of light years away from what is supposed to be the Federation. Yeah, you get see where I'm going. Thousands of light years away, and they got this spore drive, obviously.
Yeah.
And they're in this bubble. And they're going to get out of this bubble so they can stop Tarka and Book. Stamets says, well, you can use the spore drive to jump out, even though there's no mycelial network. But they explain it away with some jargon bullshit. Discovery can use
no
the
patience.
spore drive to jump out of the bubble. However, this will destroy the spore drive, and they won't be able to get it operational unless they get to a space dock. Okay, so they're going to be stranding themselves. Certain amount of thousands of light years away, you see where this could be going. So they decide to use it, and they get out of the bubble, and it destroys the spore drive.
Which would basically do what exactly? It wouldn't fix anything, would it? They'd still use it. Yeah, that's just crazy. Synergy is wonderful. STD is what you get from combining cardboard characters with a lack of coherent storylines. That is very well structured comment. I couldn't have said that better myself. Any excuse to look at Emily Coots is a good excuse, even watching Disco. Yeah, things you have to do, eh? And you put more effort into your reaction than they did making the show. Summed up perfectly with blah blah blah. Oh man, I just remembered that turbo lift shaft was bigger than the actual ship. Yeah, I did that. I did put that in my Discovery Sucks video. Part 1, part 2. I've still got at least 5 more parts to make. I think I've already done. I can't remember what I've done and what I haven't.
And lots of people get exploded and blown up, and the flamethrowers are back. The lethal flamethrowers that were on the bridge, they make a glorious return. And we even see some shooting out of a grate in engineering. And I'm thinking, again,
I've forgotten. They have them shooting out of the floor. Imagine the poor bastards that just happen to be walking across that when the spore drive explodes, and they're getting roasted chestnuts on an open fire. Oh God, I'd forgotten about that. That's hilarious. What were they thinking?
Who would want to serve on this ship? It's just insanely dangerous simply to be on one. Engineering on the Enterprise and Voyager never had grates in the floor that could, I don't know, set you on fire. But hey-ho, whatever. Book gets out of the containment field and punches Tarka in the face. Knocks him clean out. Straight through a force field. Book and Reno try to stop it, realise they can't because they can't get past Tarka's encryptions. So Book says, "Tell Michael I love her," and beams Reno back to Discovery. Reno goes, "That man loves you," to Burnham, and Burnham's
Let's fry.
"Yeah,
Let's fry. I like that. Good one.
He loves me. I might be being a tad sarcastic with this video. You know. So obviously, Book is going to try and stop the ship. He's going to wake Tarka up and try and stop what's happening. He realises that Burnham's got to do whatever she's got to do to stop him. Reno tells Burnham, "You're going to have to stop him." And he knows that. He says, "You know, whatever you do, stop me. Whatever the cost." The DMA starts approaching Earth, and Tilly and Ambassador...
Hell! The DMA! Yeah, that was the thing that flew through the galaxy and destroyed a bunch of shit, isn't it? And that's the thing that 10C sent. Oh, it's all coming back to me now. I'm glad we're doing this, because I'm remembering now. Holy shit, smells a crewman getting cooked in engineering. Tilly most excited. You smell ribs. Sorry. Oh, you got me again. Oh yeah. I have got Zell on a back order for a stream. I think that'll be a lot of fun to do. I also have to catch up with a subscriber of mine called Spree. We had a stream sort of planned. I had to back out of it because I just had far too much work to do. But we're going to do a live stream, and it might be a bit of a fun one, and might be interesting because we're going to try and build a ship and characters in a kind of a D&D prep style way, and that might be a lot of fun. So watch out for that stream. I will obviously post a lot about it beforehand.
Ambassador, no, Admiral Vance, basically start evacuation procedures. They're going to stay behind, try and fend off all these asteroids that are obviously been affected gravitationally by the DMA into Earth. Back to Discovery, they need to stop Booker's ship. They determine that someone's going to have to go on a suicide mission and just ram the ship and stop them. And Burnham looks at Detmer and goes, "We're going to need one hell of a pilot." And Detmer just goes, "I'm ready to sacrifice myself to the altar of space, Jesus. I shall sacrifice my life because I'm so amazing."
Oh, she did and all.
Okay. And obviously the general goes, "No, I can do it. I've been a pilot for a long, long time. I'll do it."
Oh, of course, because she was expendable.
And redeem myself. I'll do it, and if I don't make it, just tell Earth that I love them. And you get this look on Detmer's face. Detmer is absolutely mortified.
Yeah, she was.
That she can't go on the suicide mission and prove how awesome she is. She has this look on her face like, "Oh, come on."
She got suicide run blocked. I'd forgotten that she got suicide run blocked.
Which I found really funny. So the general's going to go ram Booker's ship, and I'll tell you what, it's just it's just one of these things that the president lady does, and she goes, oh, that's so heroic. Cut back, and Tilly and Vance are still shooting things off. They tell people to evacuate, and Tilly decides to stay behind because she's all heroic and everything, and the asteroids are going into Earth. Everyone fucks off except her and Vance. And we cut to Tarka's ship. Again, this episode is back and forth. The whole season is back and forth.
I did occasionally make errors and try to make up for it in post.
Fox woken Tarka up and he says, "Look, we've got to stop this thing. You've got to do it." And he goes, "I can't do it. I want to get back to my universe." He says, "Well, you know, none of that is going to happen. We've got to stop it. You're never going to get him back. He's gone. You know, your boyfriend type thing, he's gone."
forgotten about all of that. Yeah, and that's my Booker impression. Oh, it's been a while since I've been able to sort of do any impressions. Maybe we'll do that after this video. Just go through some random impressions. You can give your suggestions about what impressions you'd like to hear, and I'll do my best to badly imitate the
We've
people.
got to stop this no matter what. And Tarka's like, I can't stop it. I'm too smart for myself. I put too much encryption on it. We ain't going to be able to stop it.
Well, I blocked this crap story out of my mind, but I remember the toilets weren't working according to Tilly. Priorities. Tarka
has a good cry, of course. Book gives him a hug. He says, oh, no, it'll be all right. Then the general person is going to, fly into Book's ship, and she flies into Book's ship. Now, kamikaze run at Book's ship. Book and Tarka are
careful, danger man.
Flung across the bridge in a glorified explosion of sparks and flamethrowers.
Of course.
As his tradition here on Discovery. So they're...
I don't know whether you picked that up. That was a reference to a South Park episode. It was the Canadian spiced pudding butter episode with the Canadian royal family. And every time something happens, that's out of, as is tradition here in Canada. I love that episode. The spice pudding. Yeah. And then when the monster comes in and takes the princess, he says, this is definitely not tradition in Canada.
Then knocked the fuck out. But the general flew her ship.
Oh God.
Into Book and Tarka's ship. It exploded. Book wakes up. Tarka can't obviously.
She survived. How did I forget? She survived. How did she fucking survive that? Oh God, I don't want to watch it again.
He still can't stop it. The ship's too badly damaged, and is in super level encryption. He's not smart enough to outsmart himself. Whatever. Anyway, Tarka says, you're going back to Discovery, and hopefully the explosion will be enough to power my device so I can get back to my universe. Book gets beamed off, and Book's ship explodes, and Tarka is on the ship, and he's got this look on his face like, I'm going to go home with my transporter device. I'm going to go to my other universe that he wants to go to, or is it his universe? I don't know. I'm really struggling at this point. Book makes it off the ship. It's really interesting because you have these transporters that are instantaneous, okay? Beam out, beam in. We've seen it all season, all right? But Book beams off this ship, and Discovery has to pick up his transporter signal and beam him aboard. I'm like, well, how does that work? I'm trying to get my head around it. I can't be bothered to get my head around it. We're on the final episode. Whatever. But he doesn't make it.
I just, at this point, whatever.
He doesn't make it. Book doesn't make it as the ship explodes. He's almost on the bridge, but no. Seemingly, Book is gone. And obviously, Burnham has a good cry, because why wouldn't you, and everyone's...
I specifically targeted that screenshot on purpose, because I'm sorry... People don't generally look good when they cry, but my God, Burnham is just one of the examples of just a horrific cry face. You know how like Tobey Maguire in, was it Spider-Man 3, had just awful crying face. Yeah, Burnham's got awful crying face.
Oh my God, Book's dead.
Back character up there. Background tertiary character person.
But we have to show how strong Space Jesus is, because she's lost someone, and she's literally like, I need to be captain right now.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'm going to be captain, and let's get on with the mission.
Ooh.
Now, the reason it didn't have any impact with me is because I knew that there would be some contrivance that would allow Book to come back.
Yes.
Spoiler alert, he's not dead. Alright, and there's a reason for that I'll get to. We're back to crisis situation.
Some bad editing in this video. I think I was tired. It was like
France.
10 o'clock at night.
And once
I've been at work all day.
Crisis situation, they decide to have a drink. We know, crisis situation, People in
DJ Play
Discovery
Nice.
like to talk about them. Back to
Hashtag
Discovery,
Jill
and
sent me.
The 10C basically said, "Okay, you want to talk? we'll bring you over in a shuttle." They go to the 10C's homeworld, and we finally see what the 10C are. The 10C are a highly advanced civilization. Okay, they've built highly advanced technology.
Still with
they
you.
They are literally giant floating bugs. There's probably any number of explanations, but I think, come on, really?
DJ Play Nice, welcome.
Just giant bugs. Right?
Yeah, they were like Starship Trooper, the main brain bug. They were like that, but jellyfish versions.
Their face. Alright? So, what can you do? That's the 10C, that's who they are.
Oh, God.
So, Burnham says, this is a momentous occasion. All the bridge crew are invited to come and speak to the 10C.
Oh, yeah, because they were all invited to come and speak to the 10C. And then they I think I recall saying they promptly fucked off and they were nowhere to be seen afterwards. Or something along those lines. Oh, that was just so funny.
Come and bear witness to this. Everybody deserves to be there.
Giant bugs that speak in feelings. Fuck off, show!
On the mission.
You know, I love the Critical Drinker. I really do. And I was a little bit... I wasn't attacking him or anything like that with this whole Picard season 3 thing. I hope he doesn't think that. If he's ever seen any of my stuff, I hope he doesn't think that I was attacking him with the Star Trek Picard season 3 stuff. That was just a difference of opinion. I fucking love his channel and I love his videos and I love his sign-offs and I love all his little quirks. He's absolutely brilliant. Fuck off, show. Fucking brilliant. I just had to gush a little bit there. Sorry.
Don't invite them. She invites the crew of Discovery. Not the diplomats.
Yeah. Yeah, she invites the crew of the Discovery. All the tertiary characters, but not the diplomats, no.
We're trained to speak to new species. No. Gotta have the bridge crew. And, like, the doctor person and, like, the president of the Federation. And that's it. None of the trained diplomats. You're just gonna have the Discovery crew. And I was like, okay. Fine.
God.
The rest of Discovery, I had to switch my brain off. For most of Discovery,
yeah.
I just left it off for this episode. Possibly this video as well. So they're talking to 10C and they're basically explaining
just
what
want to
you
be honest,
do
you know.
bad. Okay, you're killing us. You're destroying us.
Screenshot! Look at it! In all its glory! Perfect freeze frame.
And the 10C are all linked. Okay, they're all linked. They exist as one, like the changelings in DS9.
Oh
like
God, I am so pissed off with what they did with the changelings in Picard.
They even say no, it's nothing like.
And in latest Discovery
like,
seasons.
How is it not like the Borg? And they say, well,
Did I just foreshadow it a little bit? Linked like the Borg. My God, it's Picard season 3 all over.
They don't understand individuality. I'm thinking it's kind of like the Borg. They come up with some fucking stupid explanation as to why they're not like the Borg. So they managed to explain to the 10C that what they do bad.
And they almost said it that way as well. Cold Paranoia, welcome to the stream. Your rants express the frustration of the silent majority of Trek fans. Yeah, and I think it's about time we weren't silent anymore. But I think a lot of Trek fans are just so sick and tired of repeating ourselves and being trampled on and called every name under the sun. It's called hateful just because we have an opinion on something.
It's bad. And the 10C go, oh bugger, what we do bad. Oh, I'm terribly sorry. And they agree to stop. How do I explain it? The 10C agree they're going to be more careful with the scanning and the mining operation to collect their boronite.
Boringite, yeah. And they're going in Strange New Worlds. Yep, and they're going in Strange New Worlds. I only watched the Rocco 96. Hello. I only watched the first 2 seasons of SCD. I didn't care about season 3 or later. I think you watched maybe one season too many there, because season 1 again. Jesus Christ! It wins the award for being the least shit. of the whole shitty bunch.
DMA stop, like they're buggering off. The 10C go, "Oh, Space Jesus, you appear to be sad. Why are you still crying?" And she's going, "The man I love was lost." And they go, "No, he wasn't. We just intercepted his transport. We didn't know what it were. We didn't understand anything about it, but we just thought we'd intervene." And Book appears like the goddamn fucking Messiah. And Burnham's like, "How dare you appear to be Space Jesus? I'm Space Jesus." No, they have a hug. He's alive, and everyone.
I don't find myself funny,
shocked.
but sometimes I do.
I'll be honest with you. I thought, yeah, Book's going to come back. Of course he is. Tucker probably not. Maybe not until next season when they visit another fucking universe, and he goes, "Guys, I made it." So Burnham's all happy, and
I hope not.
Book goes, "Is that the 10C? I want to talk to them. I've got a bone to pick with them." And Burnham, knowing that Book is feeling still pretty raged about his own planet, decides to let him talk to the 10C, this all-powerful fucking species that could destroy Earth. And fucking a Book. Book basically goes... He's basically telling them what you're doing isn't good enough, pulling the DMAs away and promising not to be so indiscriminate when you're mining. You've got to stop doing it because you're destroying lives. And I thought, well, that's a good point. To be fair, you're destroying lives. You know, you're not taking very much care, and you're doing it to stay hidden. And he just goes, it's not a very good thing staying hidden. We all got to work together. We're all part of the same. We're all connected. And his head starts glowing the way it used to do on his home planet. And he goes, you've got to stop your mining. You've got to be sure it never happens again. And I thought, well, to be fair, I would probably have said the same thing to the species 10C.
I can't wait for STDs to start, says RA. I loathe that show, but I love your reviews of it. Oh, bless you, mate. Thank you very much. Nitpicking Nerd. How are you, my friend? It's been a while. In Season 5, they rip off the white-haired evil lady from Ahsoka. Oh, you know more than I do, mate. And the whole plot is about chasing some mystery box like Indiana Jones. Yeah, we've mentioned that it's going to be... I've already said debris from a ship that was destroyed in Season 1 has survived, 700-800 years, and the debris is perfectly shaped to form a map that points to the location of Jake Skywalker. Frank Burnham, or no, future Michael Burnham from the past, but from the future, and she's all-knowing, all-seeing. I don't know. It's going to be some kind of shit like that, isn't it? And Michael does everything by herself, with the entire crew just watching her with astonishment. Yes! Yeah, exactly! It's just a Michael Burnham show, and everybody's standing there with no popcorn.
And I said, look, it's not enough that you simply back off what you're doing. You've got to stop. Because you could be mining on a planet where life has yet to evolve, but could do in the future. I mean, you always have
a good point.
Certainly in Enterprise, where it says, I like to test the weapons. Let's test it on a dead moon. Where
I love doing these random sort of flashback
ever forming.
Other
Don't
shows,
want to kill
random references.
Bacteria that could turn out to be a sentient species and all that. So it's got a good point. Anyway, they basically...
Nerd, another great Trek reviewer. Yes, mate, welcome. Thank you so much for commenting. Yeah, big fan of your work, and my subscribers are as well, so it's great to have you here. Absolutely great to have you here. Thank you.
Go, oh yeah, we feel your sadness, we feel your pain, we feel your feelings.
Oh God,
we're going to stop altogether. And that's it. The day is saved. Everybody's saved. The DMAs are stopping. And then we get an epilogue where everybody's happy and cheering, and the whole thing with Discovery getting stranded, obviously, I don't know how the 10C... It must have happened off screen where they said, oh, by the way, could you send us home as well? So species
they just skipped over that.
Open up a wormhole and Discovery gets back to Earth. And there's much partying to be had, many drinks to be had. The Space Jesus sees Tilly, gives her a hug, and Tilly's like, oh my God, Space Jesus, I'm back, and everybody's happy and smile, and it's really cheesy. I did kind of cringe a little bit. Everyone's happy to see each other. Saru gets a girlfriend. He's finally got together with Mrs. President Lady. We have this speech by Burnham
No,
saying
it
how
was
awesome
Vulcan. I think I
everybody
made a
is
mistake there.
and how we must
Common occurrence.
all work together and not be divided
Says
anymore.
his ambassador
how
lady.
borders shouldn't matter. I don't know. President Lady goes, I was wrong about you. You are now ready to command the USS Voyager. And she goes, well, I'm not going to do that because I like Discovery too much.
Oh, the USS
And they both
Voyager.
have a
What
good
did
laugh.
they do
And she
to it?
says, oh, what are you going to do? And turns out Book needs to get punished for, violating the laws that he did. And that's
I'll read some
fine.
comments in a moment.
He gets community service. He gets community service.
Yes, community service.
Paid for the victims of the DMA, which I thought was quite fitting. And they say goodbye, and people go on a shore leave, the places that they would have visited. Everyone's really happy. Again, really cheesy. Then the Earth president says,
Oh, yeah, they got Stacey Abrams in, didn't they? Oh, no.
Rejoin the Federation because, Earth isn't in the Federation, and they need to rejoin the Federation, and
Oh,
they
my
realise
God.
Space Aegis has got a big ass mission now to bring more people into the Federation and explore more space. That is the breakdown of the episode. Right, now my opinion on this episode. As a season-ending episode, it was alright. It was quite good. It capped off the season very well. The problem is with this season is it was shit.
Oh, sorry, I was way too blunt there. The problem is, this season was just shit. Oh, biggest problem with one of them with STD. Burnham is Spock. McCoy and Kirk rolled into one, or at least trying to be. Yeah, that's a good point. They will finally tie it into Calypso, probably. Yeah, absolutely. Spider Lord. Each other captain had specializations. Burnham is, as CD says, diverse space Jesus, the fulcrum of the universe. RA. I am gay. I didn't know that, mate. But when Star Trek Discovery say they represent me, it makes me want to go back in the closet. Yeah. Yes, mate. I would say that's fairly accurate. I would feel the same way. King Vale's Felix, welcome at RA. Was Garrick kind of gay? Now, I take issue with that because I don't think that sexuality ever really played a part in Garrick and Bashir's relationship. But different people read into different things. I would say I'm strongly of the opinion that was literally like almost like a bromance rather than anything that was, anything more. But Colin Dempsey, laugh out loud. RA, my guess is bi. Again, it could be, but it was never really the point of their relationship, and I think that's where we're going wrong in terms of media, because I think stories involving people and human beings should be about the fact that the human beings going through human being things, and not simply because they're gay or bi or they of this sexual nature, that this sexual sexuality, sorry, and that sexuality. It's a case of, okay, so if they had, say, done The Last of Us 2 and done a superb story, which it wasn't, it's my opinion, and made a great story, and Ellie just happened to be gay, but it doesn't really matter because it's not focal to the story, then they should have done that, but they didn't. They focused on that, and a lot of media just focuses on that and says, look, they're gay. I wouldn't really want to be made as a character just simply because I happen to swing to the left or to the right, in whatever context you want to take that. It just wouldn't define me. And I think that's a lot. The same goes the same for a lot of people. It doesn't define who you are. You are who you are. Whatever choices you make in life, you are what you are. It doesn't define you. The fact that I'm a straight white male who's married doesn't define who I am. I define who I am with my personality. My sexuality, well, that's something completely different. That's mostly none of people's business, for starters. But if I wanted to tell people, I'm sure I could. You know. At the end of the day, I went through the same puberty that everybody else goes through, you know, and I had moments of confusion and all of that stuff. But it doesn't define me as a person, you know. I don't get it. Maybe that's a shitty opinion to have, but I think it's quite reasonable. Andrew Robertson said he played him as gay, but to be honest, I never really got that impression. Yeah, I never really did either. More that he was toying with Bashir. Yeah, exactly. That's how I sort of read into it, is that he was being playful with him, but not in a sexual way. He was flirting with Zial, Dukat's daughter. With Bashir, he was just a friend. Yeah, exactly, nitpicking nerd. I agree with you. I was going to mention in a previous stream, but I forgot about Zial. Because he essentially caught Zial. And before tragedy strikes. Let's get through the rest of my shockingly bad video.
The entire season was shit. The story was shit. It was poorly executed. And
I agree.
12 episodes of...
at least we've got 10.
With no real progression. And it turns out...
Was there 14?
The entire season was about a species of bugs that didn't know what they were doing, was destructive... by destroying worlds inside our galaxy. They operate outside the galaxy, and the entire season is about Burnham going to tell them to stop.
And wasn't it weird, because the previous season, when we've discovered who blew up all the dilithium, it happened to be someone who wasn't aware of what they were doing. I wasn't aware that their paddywhack, their absolute meltdown, destroyed, you know, an entire galaxy worth of dilithium. It wasn't his fault. He didn't know what he was doing. It caused all this death and destruction, cost the lives of trillions of people, but he didn't know what he was doing. So it's all okay. These people can't write for shit. They really can't.
And that's it. That's the whole fucking season. It's a shit story, but I mean...
It's like looking at myself, torturing myself.
The first 2 acts of this episode were alright. They were kind of entertaining. Towards the end, it's like this message of we all need to be together, we're all one. It's a good message, but it's just told so cheesily. And it's just... This Discovery doesn't resemble Star Trek at all. I mean, towards the end, you get the... rejoining of the Federation. I'm thinking you didn't need to pull the Federation apart just to have Space Jesus come in and fucking fix everything because she's so fucking amazing. You didn't need to do that. You could have gone to a future that was bright and cheerful. You could make it work, and it could have lasted for thousands of years. It could have lasted those 900 years, but no, you had to have the burn, and you had to fragment the Federation so Space Jesus can come in and fucking fix it. And then if that wasn't bad enough, you had a species of bugs that were outside the known galaxy, but beyond the stupid galactic barrier. I don't care if that was set up in previous Star Trek or not. It's stupid. I don't like it. It's a stupid
I still
idea.
think it's stupid.
They're basically just mining
galactic barrier,
not knowing that there's all the sentient life out there.
Giant wall, you can't get past.
Planets, and it's up to Space Jesus to go and fucking fix it. And I swear Season 5 will probably be the same. I don't know. I don't know what the hell they're planning for Season 5. It was a good episode. It was a shit season. I'm not going to lie. It was a shit season. Now, I've had some comments on my channel that have said that I want to hate. And that's simply not the case. I'm going to say it now. I don't want to hate new Star Trek. I don't like hating Star Trek. But I do dislike Discovery. Now, I've given you basic episode rundowns, and I have taken the piss a lot out of Discovery. I'm very aware of that. But the reason I'm making these videos is I'm pointing out what I think makes it shit. And the hope, the smallest of hope, that people will go, you know what, actually, yeah, it is pretty shit. We need something better. Discovery is terrible Star Trek, and it has been for a while. So that's it. That's the season. That's season done. I won't be doing any more Discovery videos until season 5 comes out. I certainly won't be doing any more review videos. I am thinking of doing a season retrospective video where I'll go into more detail. I don't have an awful lot of time to make these videos, these review videos, so I have to be kind of brief with them. But I have been thinking about doing a season-long retrospective where I can go into more detail. So if you want to see that, then let me know in the comments section. If you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, then please hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out. Remember to
I think we can call that a day on that video. It was interesting to go back and sort of remind myself of the points of what actually happened and what actually took place in season 4. It's also interesting to see, because I don't watch a lot of my own reviews. I watch the video obviously, but if there's any banging or anything, family's just come home, so you have to excuse that. I don't, other than to upload my videos, I don't really see my videos very, very many times. So it's interesting to go back and see that my thoughts on Star Trek Discovery have not changed. Now, the Discovery videos were fun to make, but I had more fun making the Star Trek Picard season 2 videos. I think Star Trek Picard season 2 was one of the funniest seasons that I've ever seen, because it was just so stupid. Right, let's catch up with some chats. If DS9 writers really wanted to deal with these issues, then they should have made Ezri Dax into a man in season 7. Yeah, that's a fair point, mate. The whole series was wrong from the get-go, says Yelling at Gash's Anomalies. From naming the main character Michael to be edgy, yep, agree with that, to making her a mutineer and then trying to make her every hero character with no flaws. Yeah. Nitpicking. They also released all the prisoners from some prison planet, assuming they were all innocent without checking. The guy who caused the burn could be kidnapped by someone and used as a weapon. Exactly. A much better way to write that particular plot line. Jock stole the nerds' favourite show. They did so. Why they did so, nobody knows. Yeah, well, there you go. You could have collapsed the Federation like the Andromeda series and a Rebirth, but the collapse made no sense either. No, it didn't, and it was like, are you kidding me? The Kelpian happened to be in a nebula on a planet that acted as an amplifier for his tantrums to be able to destroy all of one substance in the universe that all ships need to power their warp drives, apart from the Romulans, which they used a focused quantum singularity for theirs. So the Romulans might have actually had a chance to take over the whole quadrant at least. And we could all be living under Romulan rule, but then they destroyed the Romulus, and the Romulans became refugees, but still they'd retain... I don't even know. That was another stupid thing, wasn't it? The fucking refugees. They became refugees because their star exploded. There were no other colonies that Romulus had. No other colonies, no other shipyards, no other places where they developed all their technologies and expanded their empire other than the Romulan star system. Oh, God. New Trek is so shit. It's fucking horrendous. Each season of STD feels like a 2 or 3-parter dragged into an interminable and torturous arc. Very well described. Let's not give them any ideas, says RA. Nitpicking. Galactic barrier was never mentioned in TNG when they went to other galaxies. Also, they previously said in the Star Trek Discovery that they can jump anywhere in the universe, but suddenly they're limited only to this galaxy. Yep. Nitpicking nerd, someone must have taught them how large the universe is. I never thought there would be Star Trek that I couldn't watch. Now, you see, I agree with that in some respects. Let me try and adapt what you've just said. Your words are still your own, but let me put my spin on that. I never thought there would be Star Trek that I could only watch once. Now, I have to watch them, obviously, in my videos, otherwise, I've got nothing to talk about. But I find New Trek so fundamentally unwatchable or unrewatchable. So I binged Next Gen DS9. I'm making my way through the original series. You'll be pleased to know, very slowly, but I'm still making my way. I binged Voyager and I binged Enterprise, and I watched the films, and they're great, and I love it all. It's fantastic. I love the flawed stuff. I love the shit stuff. I love the great stuff. But you can rewatch classic Trek. You can't rewatch New Trek and take it seriously. It's so painful to rewatch. I did make a decision. I'm going to go back and rewatch Picard Season 3. And see if there's any change in my opinion on that one. Because if there's been enough time, I've got enough time to watch episode after episode and sort of binge it. So I might do a follow-up video on that. But yeah, I don't find any other New Trek actually rewatchable at all. It's ridiculous. It's kind of a silly stage of the stream. I did say that I would try and dig up some impressions if you wanted me to do them. So yeah, I'll do that shortly if anybody's got any ideas. But the impressions, to be fair, the Picard one was the most popular. The book one was sort of okay, I suppose. It's a bit typical. Nitpicking nerd, Michael saved the entire universe in season 1. They said Spore Network was everywhere, but according to season 4, the destruction would have been very localized, limited to merely our own galaxy. Yeah, they said the spores don't exist outside the galaxy. They sort of got a bit of a barrier there, I suppose. That would be how I understood it too. I mean, the spore drive itself was ridiculous. It was a ridiculous thing to have in a prequel. Now, if you'd done a sequel and had the spore drive as a new experimental technology that Federation was playing around with, and they've discovered this spore network, and if you'd made it into a sequel to the Next Generation and set it after the Next Generation movies, it would have made a lot more sense, wouldn't it? But they set it before Kirk. I mean, come on. They set it before Kirk. And the technology just wasn't around. Spider-Lord, Picard Season 3 is very badly written, but has good character work, and that salvaged a bit. It's still very flawed. Yes, I likened Star Trek Picard to a trip down memory lane, but not quite the same as you remember it. And it was very nostalgia heavy, of course. But if you really think about it, the flaws in the story were shocking. Absolutely shockingly poor. The biggest one of which that I remember was the Borg using the founders, the shapeshifters, the changelings, as pawns in their shitty little plan. The Borg using the founders. Now, the founders were the founders of the Dominion, which has endured for 1,000 years. And even after their defeat, it was only an Alpha Quadrant defeat. The Dominion's still just as fucking big in the Gamma Quadrant. But in Picard, the changelings which would still be in power, the Great Link would still be in power and in control of the Dominion, the changelings become pawns for the Borg? Really? I mean, it's the Borg's ultimate plan. The shapeshifters and the founders, they are pawns. Do you really think at any point throughout Deep Space Nine, once Odo discovers his people, do you honestly think that they would be in any way accepting of being pawns to another species? They love controlling people. They love... Oh, yeah, I'm going to get into a massive rant here, but that's just fucking ridiculous, is it not? What a joke! Why would you even think that was a decent thing to write? And, you know, the assimilation of all the young people, because, you know, old people can't be assimilated, or whatever the reasoning was. There was a lot of written flaws in that. I did enjoy the nostalgia, and I got carried away in one of my reviews, and I got pulled up on it, and I sat and thought, shit, yeah, they're right. I just got really carried away. And it was episode 6 with the museum, with the ship museum, and yeah, I admit I got carried away there, and I thought, oh, this is really good. I gave it a green light and everything. And then the next episode, I was like, I really need to rethink this. So it'd be interesting to go back and watch it again. If they started 900 years later with a spore thing, yeah, that would be fine. Yeah, that's a good point. I would have thought after the Next Generation movies finished, you could sort of do what you wanted with technology. But hey-ho. One of the biggest issues I have in New Trek is the complete lack of understanding of distance. Yeah, distance and the speed of light. You know, the speed of signals. 7 red signals from across the galaxy. We've detected them. It all appeared at the same time. Well, that was to mean that the one that was 30,000 light years away would have started shining 30,000 years ago, and the one 70,000 light years over here would have started. It would have been set off 70,000 years ago, because the speed of light and distance. And this is why I said in my Discovery Sucks reviews, videos, which if you haven't seen, please go and watch them, because I'm trying to put as much work as I can into them. As I explained in that, that's the speed of light. They don't care about the show. There's no scientific advisors to the shows at all. They don't care. They just write bullshit, and they have such disrespect for how accurate Star Trek can be and how accurate it used to be. You know, as scientifically accurate as they could at the time to make the story interesting. Fucking hell. Getting all fired up. More interesting if the Borg figured out a way to assimilate the changelings. Yes, but there was exactly. There was no mention of that whatsoever. It was like they got together and made a deal. The changelings would never make a deal unless the Borg threatened to assimilate or kill one of the founders, but or wipe out the Great League. There'd be some sort of caveat, but there really wasn't, was there? It was simply just, there they go. They become Borg changeling beings, not just pawns. Exactly. I think Clayton made that point on a previous stream. Exactly. Why wouldn't you go for that? I mean, a shape-shifting Borg would be fucking terrifying, would it not? It'd be like the ultimate weapon. You know, take a seat on that stool. Okay. I've been assimilated. Shit. Fuck. I've just sat on a Borgling. Nitpicking. If they used the conspiracy bugs that take over people, no end of people have said, use the conspiracy bugs. It would have been so much better. Conspiracy bugs to take over people instead of the changelings and Borg, it would have been so much better. Would have wrapped up the unfinished cliffhanger from season 1 of TNG. Yeah. Imagine bringing that back. Yeah, so something if bringing it full circle, that would have bookended it quite nicely. The Borg Queen villain was supposed to tell us about Jack's absurd story of wanting to join the collective because the world was so terrible, just horrible. Yeah, exactly. And this is why I was quite surprised that the drinker liked it and Dave Cullen liked it, and Robert Meyer Burnett liked it. I love all those guys. I respect those guys immensely, and I'd love to have chats with them. I'd love to get together and have a chat, but I don't understand what they liked about it so much, and why they didn't. I mean, drink it. They both said, "Oh yeah, it's got its problems, it's got its flaws," but it just seemed to me that they didn't say those flaws. Maybe I'm the one who's wrong. Maybe we're wrong. I don't know. But I love those guys, and it felt wrong going against them in that sense. But I just couldn't agree with them on it. I had to stick to what I thought. So the Jurati Ball Queen is guarding that massive wormhole. What the fuck was all that about? What the hell was that? From Star Trek Picard Season 2. They just ignored that in Season 3. I thought the hippie Borg might show up in a different series. Could be long later. Imagine that. Jurati Borg. Jurati was one of the worst characters in Star Trek Picard. Ugh. Horrible character. Such got away with everything. King Valis Felix. Star Trek used to be the science fiction flagship. Yeah. And now it's a rowing boat with half the boards missing. Yelling at gaseous anomalies, but like making it accurate. It's so like, oh my god, so hard. Yep, you're not wrong. Nitpicking. Silliest scene was when Book heard a noise in the sky, looked up and said, "Hey, is that my ship?" Oh, sorry. When Book heard a noise in the sky, looked up and said, "Hey, is that my ship?" When the ship was in high orbit, yet he could somehow see it from the surface. Terrible science. Yeah, exactly. Fabio Urquhart. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. Why is there suddenly a new Discovery season? I thought it was already the last one. No, my friend. Unfortunately, Season 5 was announced at the end of Season 4, or somewhere around the end of Season 4. And we've had to wait 2 years for it, at least. Has it been 2 years? It's got to have been 2 years. We've had 2 seasons of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Was it 2 seasons of Picard in between Season 4 and Season 5 of Discovery? I'm sure that's right, judging based on my videos. The conspiracy books are used in Star Trek Online story and expanded upon. Yeah, Star Trek Online, mate. Yeah, I know you gush over Star Trek Online. It's a great game. I just haven't got around to playing it. But yeah, they're able to expand on so much. RA, please stay authentic, my friend. Many of us have similar opinions to yours concerning Picard Season 3. Yeah, and, it would have been nice to sort of go along with, it was very good, and yeah, I enjoyed it. But I didn't want to lie, because I didn't want to sort of, I wanted to be genuine with you guys about what I thought about it. And here's the thing, it was very hard for me to do because I really wanted to like Season 3 more than I did. I was so desperate to like. I was desperate for something good. But I just couldn't sit here and tell you it was amazing. I thought it was good. It was not great. And I felt awful at the time. And I'm fairly certain, please don't quote me on it, because I'm not 100% sure, but I sort of leaning towards the idea that I think Dave Cullen made a video that was directed at people like me who were saying that nostalgia bait was bad. And at the time I just thought, I don't know, maybe it's, maybe there's a certain amount of hubris and big-headedness coming in there, but it seemed like it was aimed at me. Maybe because I brought up Dave Cullen. I don't know, but I commented on... No, I did a video where I said, let's give Picard Season 3 a chance, and Dave Cullen did comment on that video and saying, you won't be disappointed. And then when I was disappointed, it just went to shit. Everything just went to shit. But I wanted to be honest, because ultimately that's what I want in my videos, is I just want to be honest. And boy, am I going to be honest in a few weeks' time. Star Trek Discovery got a season 5 contract from the start, or 5-season contract from the start. Unbreakable contract, even though no one is watching. Yeah, and isn't it like the Rings of Power? They committed to 5 seasons or something like that, and it just has to keep going, even though they spent what, $1 billion on the Rings of Power, and it's just been this monumental failure from the beginning. It's been absolutely atrocious. Right. I'm going to set a countdown now for the end of the stream because it's getting late. I've got work in the morning, but I'm going to give it at least another. I'm going to try and give it another 20 minutes. We'll say 20 minutes, so we can start sort of wrapping up. But you guys got anything you want to say? Bung it in the chat, and I'll read it out. And you've all been fantastic. It's got to be the most watched stream I've had in a long time, and you guys are coming along. Has been absolutely amazing. This has been a great time, considering I just thought of doing this stream like an hour before I actually did. It's been really great. I've actually loved this stream. Brando, Captain Shaw is the best Trek character by far since Enterprise ended. Yeah, Todd Stashwick, wasn't it? Sure. Now you see, I'm gonna watch Picard season 3 again. I'm gonna do it in glorious 4K and all of that stuff. Shaw was good. I'm not exactly sure how I felt about him at the time. He was okay as a character. I thought it was, at the time I thought it was just more disrespect for legacy characters, but he was an interesting counterpoint. He was like, and it was very subtle messaging for sure. But and Brando, yes, Sod Legacy, give me Captain Shaw show, very refreshing character. It was, yeah, he was different. I didn't find myself hating him, but as my wife said, as I showed her episode 1, my wife said, "Oh, that guy's got to be a dick. He always plays a dick." It's like, yeah, he does. Nitpicking. Fallout series starts next month. Looks good by the new trailer. I was a big fan of the game, and it seems they capture the style and humour of it in the show. I will use it to treat the trauma of watching STD. Yeah, and a good antiseptic. I've heard mixed things about Fallout with the TV show in terms of what people have thought of it, but I thought, I'm also very aware that the Borderlands is coming out as well. Halo was utter shite. I didn't even make it through the first season. I watched something like 5 episodes and gave up. The Last of Us, I watched from beginning to end because I liked the first game. The second season, I think I'm going to give a miss because I hated the second game, and I do still have my original rant on The Last of Us Part 2. And that was completely unedited, and that was before I actually became a YouTuber. It was literally just me talking to a camera because I just felt like I needed to get something off my chest. It was also during the pandemic as well, so yeah, that was interesting. Let me know if you do want to see that, by the way. I might play it on the live stream or something. Spiderlord at UK Dangerman Reviews. What's your thoughts on Lower Decks? Viewing it as a strict parody, I actually rather enjoy it. It at least feels like it was written by people like Star Trek. Visually speaking, I agree with you. Visually speaking, it's a good spoof. It's an entertaining show, and would be that if the rest of New Trek hadn't been treated as so poorly. Because I can't be impartial with Lower Decks, because it is still in the same bracket as all the other New Trek bollocks, and the fact that they've mistreated New Trek and mistreated us. Lower Decks, I find it hard not to be insulted by a lot of what they do, and a lot of the treatment of some of the legacy of Star Trek. And I also think that it's just very Easter egg heavy, so you feel like you're going on the Easter egg hunt instead of actually sitting and enjoying it. But I mean, that's generally what I think of it. It's visually it's great because they've drawn a lot of the Star Trek world very accurately, and it's pretty good. But Picard season 3 opens with a Fallout reference. The song "World on Fire" was used in the Fallout game. I've played Fallout 4 and I played it for about 3 hours, and I've not picked it up since. I didn't have the time to play it, if I'm honest. But yes, can't wait for all the hilarious videos to come. Well, I will do my best to make them as hilarious as possible. But quite honestly, I don't go into my videos trying to be funny. I actually go into my videos quite angry, and that just comes out as something people really enjoy. So that's great. You know, I really like that. I really like the fact that you guys enjoy the channel. And you might be seeing a little bit more of sort of classic Danger Man rants. I had to, for my videos, I tried to take a bit more of a neutral approach with Trek because I found myself going off the rails a little bit too much. But I'm thinking I might lean a little bit further towards going off the rails again because it's just Discovery. I might actually just blow a fuse and just turn into, you know, Chris Duckman and just go, Star Trek Discovery was made to suit certain audiences, and I can't really say anything negative about it because I just don't want to, because, you know, we shouldn't bash anything negative. This is ridiculous. What about Prodigy? I think the look of the ships is as respectful to TNG Voyager era as Lower Decks, and almost feels like a continuation of Voyager. Yes, it does. Again, I've seen about 8 episodes of that, and if you get past the whole Nickelodeon part of it, it's hey, this stream has had 100 views. I've never had a live stream go over 100 views, I don't think, and it is whilst it's live. That is incredible. Woohoo! Celebration! You know, put your thumbs up in the chat while I'm chase reading it. Zell $4.99 super chat. You dude, seriously, you're paying the drinking bills around here. Dude, you didn't need to do that. Thank you so much. That was very, very generous of you. Prodigy, I will say thank you again and then again and again and again as many times as I need to. I like Picard season 3, but it's not the best. And even I can agree with your criticisms. Big love to you, dude. Big love to you too, Zal. Big love to everybody in the chat, every single one of you. You're all a great community. I love you all for coming here. I really do, and spending this time with me. You're all fantastic people, and I wanted people who liked Star Trek Discovery to come in and watch the stream as well, so we can have a proper sort of discourse about it. But so far, a lot of people just say they don't like it, and I think that's quite telling. So yeah, Prodigy, it was good. From what I've seen, it's good. It didn't hold my interest enough to keep watching it. I do still have the episodes, though. I can still watch it, and I might do that. I might try and finish season 1. I know that is there a season 2? I know it's been shifted, or someone's bought it, haven't they? I haven't been keeping up with it. I'd rather, yelling at gaseous anomalies again, I'd rather play Star Trek Resurgence until the PlayStation dies than watch Discovery. I've still got to finish Resurgence, and that's another stream I'll have to do. I've still got to finish Resurgence. I haven't finished it yet. I haven't gone on it either since that stream, so we would pick up where I left off. Not actually seen Prodigy. That's the Nickelodeon kiddie show, isn't it? Yeah, it is, and it's obviously because it's a kids show, it can't really show too much adult stuff, but it's still, for what it is, it's pretty good. I mean, it's not like Discovery where you're gonna see severed little heads. I mean, that was sick. How sick was that? I mean, fucking hell. How sick do you have to be? Suddenly Star Trek wanted to become Game of fucking Thrones. How gross do you have to be to want to show that? I mean, I know it was fake. I know the whole thing was a fake out, but shit on a fucking stick. That's the Star Trek. Not Game of fucking Thrones. Nobody wanted to fucking see that. God, what were they thinking? Oh, let's be edgy. Let's just fuck off. You knobs. Oh, what do you think Star Trek is? Oh, I think Star Trek should have severed heads. Little severed heads of infants. You want to chop someone's head off in Star Trek? Go ahead. Seriously, go ahead. But fucking hell, leave kids alone. Jesus Christ. It's not Game of Thrones, it's Star Trek. Game of Thrones wasn't Game of Thrones by the end of it. Zell, you are such a legend. I like Picard season 3. I'm going to read it again, but it's not the best, and even I can agree with the criticisms. Wait, we can all agree with one another on certain aspects, and as long as we just keep talking about it, it's all good, isn't it? We don't have to. Everyone doesn't have to like the same thing all the time. Jesus, I'm going to have a heart attack if I'm not careful, and I'm not kidding. And I'm not kidding. Prodigy feels more like Star Wars show in my opinion. Yeah, there was a certain element to that. I think Shaw's arc was unearned. Why did he become good? Seems like his actions were arbitrary. Yeah, arbitrary. Sorry. Yeah, arbitrary. So, yeah. Shaw was like Dr. House in space. He even had a cane at some point. Yeah. It's encephalitis. 100 views, 6 likes. Get those likes in, people. Feed the algorithm. Yes, please. It's 25 likes. Wow. Thank you so much. That's super. I can't see that on my studio for some reason. Oh, hold on. I might be able to. We are currently sitting at 29 likes. Wow, this stream is fantastic. You guys are all fucking brilliant. I love you. I loved Shaw, refreshing character. Says Zell. Mine hasn't updated. Stupid YouTube. Yeah. That's a lot of that. God. Seriously, 7 infinite heads. Who? You remember when you could show Star Trek to your children and go, "This is Star Trek," and you just go, "That's really good. I like that." My lad's getting into Deep Space Nine now. He loves it. He says Cisco's amazing. I love this show. It's like he doesn't really watch Star Trek, but he started watching DS9 with you just randomly, and he says, "I love Cisco. He's brilliant." Prodigy has some really good Star Trek episodes. Reaver of Jill Sandwiches, how are you, my friend? It's good to have you here. Ooh, I came in just at a rant. Yes, we also, on this stream, if you go back and once it's done, watch back a few, like half an hour, we were going through one of my videos just to refresh ourselves on what Discovery Season 4 ended like, because I couldn't remember. Nitpicking Nerd, it's funny how Picard and Riker basically behaved like the evil admirals who always showed up on TNG to take the ship onto their own selfish missions. Shaw didn't let them do that to him. Yeah, exactly. I liked that because it was like Shaw just telling 2 admirals, no, you're not taking it. It's like, yeah, that was quite good. I like that. And I agree, and no one wants Game of Thrones in Trek. No, we don't. We don't want edgy. We don't want, push in that sort of gory value in our show. Keep it clean. Keep it family show. It's always been a family show. That's why it worked. Why are you telling us that you're right and we're wrong? We're the fans. We're the people who will watch this franchise for, fuck me, how long now? Over 60 years? Nearly 60 years? However fucking long it is. We're the ones who have watched the show. We're the ones who have been there. Jesus, I'm going to need a drink soon. Excuse me. Yeah, we're Star Trek fans. We're used to the best. Yeah, we want the best back. No, you're absolutely right. I completely agree with you. 100%. Prodigy's second episode with Janeway explaining Starfleet and the Federation did more to explain the show than every season of Discovery, Picard, Lower Decks, Strange New Worlds combined in 20 seconds. That should tell you everything you want to know. My dad got me into TOS and I got him into DS9. Mate, wow, that's great. Yeah, me and my dad used to watch Star Trek, bless him. God, I miss him. Wow, yeah. He really. When I explained season 1 of Picard to him, he did not like it. Yelling at gaseous anomalies. I used TOS to explain why you should wash your hands with the naked time. Reaver chill sandwiches. I'm getting drunk while working from home. Dude, living the life. Fuck yeah. Getting drunk while you're at home, working from home. Yeah, man. Got some respect for you. Don't drink and watch New Trek. The Spider Lord. I grew up watching TOS with my dad. It was awesome. Couldn't watch it with your kids these days. No, you couldn't. Oh, seriously. We used to watch Voyager on a Sunday night because that's when it aired on BBC Two. We used to watch Star Trek The Next Generation and Star Trek Deep Space Nine at 6 o'clock and 7 o'clock respectively on BBC Two on a Wednesday. Yeah, it was a Wednesday. It was great. It was great. It was always worth watching and always excited to see it. Oh hey, I enjoy Nitpicking Nerds channel. Yes, mate. I think we're all fans here. It's so nice for him to for him to come in. So thank you, Nitpicking Nerd, for coming in. I yell like that, but my neighbours think I'm nuts. Well, my neighbours are literally just beyond that wall, and there's a wall there, so that's obviously down the stairs. And I do actually have I can't really show you without messing with the camera, but you saw the post with all my Voyager figures. I've also got Wonder Woman there, but she's a cardboard cutout, so sadly, a bit of Gal Gadot for you. Are they going ahead with Section 39 still? I think it's going to be, Nitpicking Nerd says it's going to be a TV movie instead of a show. I really don't think it's going to go anywhere or do anything because they don't know Section 31. They think they know what Section 31 is. They don't. They've really screwed the pooch on that one. That's how I watched the episodes I saw of Star Trek Discovery. Was to drink and laugh at it. Yeah, you're not wrong. Wow, another super chat. Guys, thank you so much. Ugo Fuato. And again, I may be butchering people's names, but Ugo Fuato, or Hugo Fuato, thank you very much. The end of season 4, Star Trek Discovery season 4 was great. Said no one ever. You're not wrong, my friend. Thank you so much for that super chat. That's very, very awesome. Wow. Yeah, the end of Star Trek Discovery Season 4 was great, said no one ever. And how could we? How could we even lie like that? So $5 super chat, thank you very much. If I get the currency wrong, I do apologise. I'm just really, really, what do they say in America? Stoked. Actually, Hugo Vuotto, Sean Ferrick thinks it's amazing. Who's Sean Ferrick? PWG Deathhawk 81. Sorry I'm late to the show. I'm on New Zealand time. Oh, my friends, thank you so much for being here. It's great to have you here. We're approaching the end of the stream. We're not quite there yet. So I think I can go for a little bit longer, as long as I don't end up choking on my own saliva. So welcome to the stream. Feel free to go back and watch it because we've done some pretty funny things. It's been quite good fun. Nitpicking Nerd. Ever since Star Trek Discovery, they constantly said Section 31 is an official part of the Federation. Yes, exactly. It's not an official part of the Federation. It has no base of operations. The operatives work remotely. They have all the information in their heads, and that's where it stays. There's no base of operations. They don't have ships. I mean, they probably do have ships, but they utilize current Federation ships in secret. The Federation don't admit that they exist, but they know they exist. They were always an unspoken part of the Federation. Shit on a stick. They didn't wear black comm badges and have black phases or anything like that. It wasn't like that. It was a covert organisation. Why would your covert organisation have comm badges that indicate you're part of that covert organisation? It would be like James Bond wearing a name tag that says, the name's Bond, James Bond. By the way, I'm a spy. You know, it just makes no fucking sense. I work for MI5, don't you know? Jesus Christ. I'll read some of these comments in my Picard voice because I know that someone asked for that earlier and I never got round to it. Best hope Star Trek gets sold to someone that cares. Well, I hope so. I hope so. Nitpicker Nerd should have stayed in DS9 times. So they just want to make it edgy and dark. Edgy and dark. And everyone knows about Section 31. Even that random Ferengi who Worf beheaded. Yeah, Worf beheaded someone. Yay, go for beheadings. Sean must be a ladies' man. Do these Section 31 members drink while they work remotely? If not, then I'm better than them. Yeah, go for it. That's how we do things. Sean Ferrick, Trek culture. Yeah. Trek, you see all these channels, and this is what part of what I was saying earlier, all these Star Trek channels, Facebook groups and everything, they can all use the footage from the episodes and do all these 10 best this or 10 best that videos because they incorporate New Trek into their videos and they merge it all together and squish it all together like oil and water. And they're able to do that, and CBS is just like, yeah, you can do that because you're promoting Star Trek. I do it, yeah. My channel gets fucking copyright struck. One of my live streams got taken down and deleted. Thankfully, I managed to save a copy of it, but it's a really piss poor copy before it was deleted. But these channels can do that, you know. And another one's Jesse Gender. They can stream live streams live. And, yeah, they don't bat an eyelid. But anytime someone says anything negative, nope. Struck off. Wankers. The black badge thing sounds incredibly stupid. Never saw those episodes, thankfully. Oh, yeah, and they even reference, ever seen the black badge? Yeah, and they're stood there in the corridor wearing Starfleet uniforms with a black badge. Why? I'm going to make it... I shall make it so they have a black badge to indicate what part of the Federation they work for. Fucking hell. Section 31 has a sign that says top secret entrance at the HQ. Yeah, you're not wrong. They actually poked fun at the black badge on lower deck, saying how stupid it is. Yeah, you see, and then there again, if the rest of New Trek didn't exist, it would be I mean, it would make Lower Decks easier to digest, I think. Jesus. On most Star Trek forums, the term STD is a dirty word and you can get banned. We didn't invent it. Kurtzman did. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Kurtzman did. I remember when DS9 portrayed Section 31 as a smart organisation that could fool somebody like Bashir. Yeah, a genetically engineered, intelligent, super intelligent human. But, and they could fool someone like Bashir. Now they just stand there in corridors being all stupid. CBS ruined a Let's Play of mine when I wanted to add footage from an 80s show that no one remembers. Yeah, CBS are tight on that shit, man. They are so tight. The gaming stream where I did the Star Trek Voyager Elite Force, they claimed the credit scene I let run like an idiot, claiming it was from an episode of Star Trek Voyager. It wasn't. It was the intro to Voyager, but with different music, and they claimed because the music they said was from an episode of Worst Case Scenario. It's like, what are you talking about? It's a game. You just claimed my entire stream because of one credit scene in a game that, Jesus Christ, has very little to do with you. 91 things that you didn't catch in the new Lower Decks episode. I watched a few of these. They get old. Yeah. 91 things you didn't catch in the new Lower Decks episode. And that's, again, there's just so much to see. There's almost too much, I find. It's weird. What is the black badge? I missed something. Basically, alright. The black badge was to indicate that they were Section 31. So it was a silver and black badge. Starfleet, the Delta symbol in Discovery. And it was when Burnham first went onto Discovery after being declared a mutineer and disgraced and put in jail. She was being transported to the Discovery, where people died and no one cared. The shuttle crew died and no one cared, and then she went onto the ship, and then someone said, ever seen the black com badges before? So yeah, it was shit. Getting a video deleted is a badge of honor if I ever saw one. Freedom of speech till we don't agree with you. Yeah, exactly. They don't agree with it and that's what I find is people don't agree with it. You're the bad guy because they don't agree with you. It's like, where's the spirited debate? Where's the respect for diversity of opinion? There's none. There's none because people don't have those rules. Gestapo, yep. Nighthawk, you're right. It does feel like that sometimes. Shame how Section 31 was treated. You couldn't agree more. For those who forgot, in the end of Season 2 of Discovery, they let that Klingon albino, who pretends to be human, run Section 31. Are you for real? That actually, I can't remember that. Nitpicking nerd, I bow to your memory at this point, because I must have blocked that out. That was so stupid. Jesus. Do you ever play Birth of the Federation on PC? I'll tell you something. I don't have a lot of PC games. I don't really have a lot of PCs that will run those types of games. But I do have Klingon Academy, Starfleet Academy, Starfleet Command, Star Trek Shipbuilder. I have Deep Space Nine, a Deep Space Nine game emulated for the Mega Drive or Genesis in the States. Next Gen 1 emulated. I've got Legacy. I've got Star Trek X Encounters. I've got a fair few Star Trek games, but yeah, Birth of the Federation. I don't recall having that one. No, that doesn't ring a bell. That does not ring a bell. God, blimey, 2 hours and 39 minutes. I think I've gone over slightly. 5 minutes, everybody. I'll give you another 5 minutes, and to say what you've got to say, and then I shall end the stream because it is getting late. The light has gone even redder. Oh, nuts! This has been a fantastic stream. Everybody's been absolutely bloody marvelous. You know, it's been such a great conversation to have with people, and it's been bloody wonderful speaking to you all. I've missed you guys, I really have. I used to have encounters, never beat it though. All good things come to an end. Oh, bless you, Hugo. It's nice to have been speaking to everybody, and thank you for calling my stream a good thing. Makes a change to some of the comments I get on my videos. I really should do that sometimes. I just on the live stream, just go through some of the comments, and it would help you guys. I could cover a lot of the comments that you leave on my videos. So maybe in the analysis stream afterwards, or a few days afterwards, we can run through some of the comments. I think that'll be a good idea. Zell, we have to get a live stream going. I will try and find some time, and you find some time in your busy schedule as well. We will both find some time, I'm sure. Yes, definitely do that. Yes, yeah, we'll do that definitely. I've missed you too, Zal. It's been a very busy time for us. We've suffered a few hiccups, shall we say. We've lost a family member recently, or at least my missus has. So it's been very difficult these past few months to keep up with the channel. But if you haven't already gone over, please have a look at my repair channel. It's just a bit of fun. Just something I'm doing for a bit of fun, where I just repair and take stuff apart, and sometimes I break it even more. It's just a bit of fun. Hopefully the video's been entertaining. That's UK Danger Man Repairs. If you haven't already, just pop over there, have a look, and see what you think. If you want to subscribe to it, please do. It is a bit of fun. It'd be nice to get it up past 1,000 subscribers. Because believe it or not, some of my videos do get. One of my videos currently sitting at 83,000 views, so it's getting quite popular. But yeah, if you haven't already, then please check out that. Condolences. Sorry about the family member. Lost a couple in the past month myself. Good stream. Bless you, and bless you, everyone. Losing people is very difficult. As you know, I'm just trying to be there as much as I can for my wife. Just wanted to say I enjoy your content, and it's one of the shows that push me to make my cast. So thanks for the conversation and content. Thank you so much. Yelling at gaseous anomalies. It's Matt, isn't it? So thank you very much for all your comments and super chats. Spider Lord, when does the 5th season of Star Trek Discovery start? We'll look out for your vid. It's April 4th. April 4th it airs. That would mean it would be probably a Thursday, because it's always a bloody Thursday. April 4th is indeed a Thursday. And April 4th is the day I have to take my daughter to the dentist. So yes, I will be doing a video. It may be a little bit later. It may not actually come out until the Friday, because I'm obviously going to get up early for work. But I do have early finishes on a Friday. So thank you for all of your condolences. That's really nice of you. Thanks all. Thank you as always, Danger Man. Lovely to hear your voice again. Just another watch nerd. It's great to have you here. It's lovely to chat to you. If anybody does feel like having a chat with me, I do have my Discord going, but I'm still learning with my Discord. So feel free to jump onto the server and add your bit. And if you want to message me, my email is, or email me, my email is in my channel description. It's right there. I do have a Patreon as well, but the Patreon, I just don't know how it bloody works. I don't know. Anyway, sorry about the loss of your family. Oh, I've read that one. Thank you once again for that. Can you take apart the writers at New Trek and build new ones? I can take them apart, putting them back together again. Probably not. Probably might be some freakish kind of Ripley clone that just goes, "Kill me." That was wrong. I shouldn't say things like that. I've just R8. I've just subbed to Gaseous Anomalies. I will do the same. Hopefully, I will have some time after the stream. I went a bit blurry then. Sorry. Yes. Feel free to subscribe to each other. It's great that we've got such a wonderful community. I really enjoy every single one of you. It's been fantastic. I was hoping you said it airs April Fools. Well, to be honest with you, wouldn't that be an awesome April Fools? It would mean that I don't have no video if they didn't air it. Thanks for watching New Trek, so I don't have to. Paul Roach, good to see you again. Nice to have you here. I would say it's my pleasure to watch New Trek, so you don't have to, but it is pain, and it's something I endure because I must, because that's a commitment I've made. RA, thanks. We're a small channel trying to stay out of the way of the Empire. Oops, wrong series. Where's the Discord link, Dangerman? Where can I find your Discord? You know what? I couldn't tell you. I should be able to tell you, but I can't tell you. Hold on. Let's have a look. Let's actually go to my channel and see if there's a bloody link. I haven't done any maintenance to this. I am completely useless. Right. So, bloody hell. Oh, right. The link is, the address is there, but it's not showing up as a link. So if you go on my about, you go on my channel, you click the description of the channel. There's a linkish thing there. My Discord is more secretive than New Trek Section 31. It is there. It might have to be a copy and paste thing. It's not showing up as a link. But the contact, the ukdangerman@gmail.com is the contact if anybody wants to get in touch and have a chat. Some of you I'm already conversing with. It's been great to talk to you there. I will no doubt get a bunch of notifications coming through my phone tonight. So that's cool. And yeah, I'm just over the moon that you've all been here tonight to have a conversation. So thank you so much. So let's go through some shout outs and thank yous. Reaver of Jill Sandwiches, RA Ugo Vuoto, PWG Nitpicking Nerd, another YouTuber in the channel. So thank you very much for joining. It's been great having you here. Reaver, if I've not said Reaver, Spider Lord, thank you. Yelling at Gaseous Anomalies, I still think that's a fantastic name. Thank you so much for all the super chats, people. It has been very much appreciated. They're not necessary, they're really not. I will try and read all the comments. I'm not that big a channel that I tend to miss comments, but thank you so much for the donations through the super chats. That has been absolutely brilliant. Brando, thank you so much. Just another watch nerd, it's great to have you here. Zell, as always. Some fantastic people in the chat tonight, so thank you everybody, genuinely everybody. It's really made my day. Value of nothing as well. If I'm missing anybody, I do apologise. There's a hell of a lot of people to get through. Cold Paranoia, just YX84, thank you so much. M5, thank you. I'll just run my 4C Tina. Yes, definitely missed you too. Wotaj, good to have you back. A lot of these names I'm seeing and I've missed you all I remember you all, so thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. My wife may be watching the end of the stream to see when I get the hell off of here so she can come to bed. Yes, I will look out for more Discovery videos. I'm going to try and get another one done, and we'll see what comes of that. And I will more than likely be back with another live stream. Hopefully, Spree, me and Spree will get together and do that build a crew thing. That's a lot of fun, no doubt. And Zell, you and I live stream, definitely. If anybody else wants to get involved in a live stream, I might be able to plan you in sometime next year. You're a champion, Nitpicking Nerd, and Bird of Prey 5, and even Jesse Gender. You're the 4 horsemen of Star Trek reviews as far as I'm concerned. Thank you so much. It's such an honour to be recognised as a Star Trek reviewer. It's something I didn't think that I would be referenced as ever. So thank you. It's very nice to, be part of a great group of people. So yes, look after yourselves, everybody. Take care. Thank you once again to all the people who super chatted, all the people who regular chatted, all the people who subscribe to my channel, all the people who keep coming back for more. Thank you. I am definitely going to go now because I am so dry and I need a drink. So look after yourselves. Look after one another. Take care.